Oh my god, Mom, I'm scared. There's ghosts everywhere. Welcome back, everybody, or first time listeners, I guess, to episode 5. This episode, what's it about, guys?
Paranormal.
Ghosts.
Paranormal.
Yes, it's about ghosts.
Yes.
Is it just ghosts or paranormal shit? Other shit too, just weird.
So
stuff.
like demons? Would we talk about stuff
We
like
can do.
that?
Well, yeah, we'll probably get into ghosts, demons,
Like probably horror movies.
Afterlife, maybe, because ghosts and things. Those general ideas. But first question for both of you: do you believe in ghosts?
100%.
Okay, Zach does.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Do you believe in ghosts?
So we'll get into it, but I've had two experiences with it's not necessarily explainable, but maybe it is. But I was like, I don't know. I can't explain it.
There
so.
was nothing around that could.
I don't
anyways,
think so.
what went on?
If I could jump right into it already.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Does anyone else have any experiences?
I've had, I think, one kind of scary one, but like one that could probably be explained, but it still sticks with me because like it's like what the fuck.
Yeah. I got a one weird one that really sticks out in my head, and I have a couple from like the hospital that are just like could have just been my brain, but also at the same time could have been something. Who knows? Because it's the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah.
For everybody that's listening, what did you do at the hospital?
Oh, I worked as a porter, mainly. Which as a porter, you move dead. Well, part of your job is moving dead bodies. I say not your whole job.
Yeah,
It's not that big of a hospital.
I could see.
Is it fucked up that when he used to work there, I used to ask him if you punched a dead body, would it bruise?
Oh, all the time. He used to ask me.
Really?
Yeah. I'd never done it. I would never do that.
No,
Like
of
how-
course not. Like
what did you mean? Like how dead? Like how early?
Like if he
Like
was
first time
pushing, if he
died?
was pushing him down there, like
Oh, I
down to
suppose that'd
the,
have
like
been
the
early.
morgue or something, and like he'd like knocked them over,
So,
or like
Yeah.
Roughly,
would they bruise?
like the rough timeline when you're working as a porter in the hospital after they die is probably like 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours, like roughly about from when they die to you picking them up, because the doctors got to come in and verify the death,
Yeah.
time of death, all that shit. The nurses do their thing, get the body ready, bagged up, all that stuff, and then we take it whenever they're good to go.
Damn.
Are they like rigor mortis when you have them?
Depends on the body, depends on the person. Sometimes they're stiff as a board, other times they're still,
Just limp.
yeah, it's weird.
Eee.
That's crazy.
That's scary.
Which one would you prefer, limp or stiff?
I think I would rather limp, just because I've heard the stories of them going stiff
Maybe.
while he's walking with them.
Oh man, it's weird. They fart sometimes and stuff. Oh yeah, because like all that stuff isn't out yet by that time. It still
yeah.
takes hours for that, for the body to run its processes through, even if you're dead, right? So
Yeah, because I remember Tyler telling me one time, like he was taking one down, right, and the fucking knees come right up on him.
yeah, it was really fucking weird, man. It was like, is this guy still alive? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, make you jump back like, whoa.
A little bit, yeah.
So what do you put him on?
I
Like
had a
gurney?
partner. Well, no, I had an older. Yeah, you put him on a
Okay.
gurney. I had an older partner with me. This guy, Kevin. He was a cool guy. But he was like, "Oh, don't worry about that. That's just rigor mortis." Like he said, it happens sometimes. Depends on the person. I was like, okay.
Holy
But
fuck.
yeah, it was terrifying first time seeing that. Good thing I had someone with me, or else I would have been fucking.
I was gonna say
freaking
you were
out.
just pushing.
I would have
like,
pushed
holy
him.
fuck.
Yeah,
For
no.
one,
I would have jumped. Like I got scared. Man.
That
Yeah,
scared
man,
the
that
shit
shit
out
would
of
have been
me.
scary because like you'd be like, did they fuck up? Is this guy still alive?
Yeah, like he's
a lot
alive.
of times, like if you take them down to the morgue, and they have the morgue in the worst possible place. It's like you got to go down like 3 long hallways, where the only way to get to the light is like halfway through the hallway, and you got to turn
no.
it on. And then when you're leaving, you got to turn all that shit out.
No.
So it's just fucking terrifying, man.
Why do they have to have things
I don't
creepy
know.
like that? Because like they're already creepy enough
Right?
without them having to have weird shit
Yeah.
like
But
that.
it's just multiple times. It's like you be down there and you just hear like fucking somebody laughing or something. Like you think it's just in your head, right? So you're like, whatever, I'm getting out of here. Fuck this.
no.
You ever hear
fucking,
like anything like weird, like something like tapping on like the door trying to get out or anything?
No, nothing like that.
No.
No, imagine. That'd be. I always thought about that though. I was like, what would I do if that
I'd
happened?
fucking
I just
run
act like I
fast
didn't even.
can.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
Hey,
I'd act
run
like I
as
didn't even
fast
hear
as-
them.
I'd leave the lights
because
on. Fuck it.
because there was also police lockup down there
Oh.
for like bodies and stuff
Yeah.
when there was a crime. So sometimes because you couldn't get in one half of it because it was just for evidence, things like that. It was pretty cool actually.
No, that'd be so creepy.
Man, it was creepy as hell at night. When you're doing it at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, right
nope.
at the dead hour.
Is there really like that many people dying though? Like where you're like constantly taking people down there?
Not constantly, but probably once a shift, twice a shift. Depending on the day. Some days you get none. Some days it's like 4 or 5. You know,
That's
it all
crazy.
depends. I would say average, maybe like 1 or 2.
Damn.
Crazy.
That's yeah.
So like how long were your shifts? So like 8 hours?
8 to 12,
8 to 12?
depending.
Shifts are crazy.
2 people roughly, yeah. Average.
So it's not-
like 1 to 2 people
Yep.
a shift.
So it's really not that bad. Like you got to think about how large of a place Fredericton is,
Mm.
and just because the turnover doesn't happen as quick as you see it, like in your, friends and family and stuff like that, but people are just getting here and then somebody dies and they got to leave, and there's all sorts of shitty, shitty stuff happening.
Yeah. I'd be so anxious carrying around a fucking
Right?
dead body, pushing around. I'd be like, oh no.
Well, no, you're not anxious pushing around the body, I should say. You're the opposite of anxious because they're dead. Nothing you can do. To
I
them
would
now,
no.
man.
I don't like the dead.
Nothing you can
No, I
do
mean
to
I
them
don't
now.
not like the dead, but I
They're
mean
like poking at them.
Well,
Oh
sometimes
my
you can
God.
see them through the bag and stuff,
Ugh.
and sometimes,
No.
yeah, it's nasty, man.
Do they like close their eyes?
No,
or, like-
depending.
I'd want them like to come up and go like,
Because rigor mortis opens sometimes
oh my
too.
god,
Maybe-
that's right.
So-
Your fucking
just-
muscles in your
it
eyes
really all
would be
depends.
open.
Yeah, it really all depends.
that's creepy.
Put coins over.
Sometimes
my
the
eyes.
nurses go down there with us too, just for
company.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, they're supposed to. You're never supposed to go down there by yourself. It's a rule.
God, well, that's nice of them. Imagine one time you're pushing it, and then once it's, I was like, "Help me!" and then it just falls back
They
down.
just punch him right in the face. and shut
Not
the
even.
fuck
What
up.
if it doesn't even say anything? You just see it start fucking breathing through the
Oh.
body
It's
bag.
just moving,
Like you just see
right?
the.
But then you go to check, and it's just the muscles and stuff, like how they just tense up and their knees go or whatever. It's just their body just. You're like, wait a minute, that's breathing. I see.
Fucking weird sometimes, man. Yeah.
Yeah, death is definitely a weird thing. Our bodies go through something when that's happening,
Some
for
crazy
sure.
shit. Yeah.
Dimethyltryptamine.
Yeah, DMT.
DMT. Yeah. Scary.
Do you think that's okay? So some people believe that getting on to the topic of the afterlife, that's an easier way for our brain to accept moving on, but it's also some people say it's just an easier way accepting that you're dying.
Probably. Maybe it's like
Well, it's the same difference, no?
defense. Yeah, I was gonna say basically.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Maybe it's
moving
like
on
a
and
defense
that?
mechanism for
Unless
your
you're-
brain,
Unless
sort
you're
of.
talking about like.
but to make death not scary, you know what I mean? Like it almost like makes you not.
Yeah, where like
afraid.
the older ones, they start getting peaceful before they go, and then maybe their DMT trip starts after that. But maybe might explain it.
That I think that Tyler's right though. I think that's like basically the same thing. Something happens that we wouldn't have that happen to. Like that's weird. That it only happens when you're dying, right?
I think
Like,
when you're born,
about-
they say when you're born. I don't know.
I thought it was just death. I thought it was just once death occurs, like people experience it because they've come so close to death that like their body has assumed that
They're
their body's failing, that they're going to die, so it puts them in that. That's what I think it's for, is for the peaceful state of relaxing and accepting, like you said.
you're going to die.
Yeah, but you don't really think that at the time. That's not how it works.
No, fuck no. You're probably still scared.
The only thing that really trips me out with DMT and stuff like that is the shared experiences people have, because that's really fucking weird. So why does a lot of people see elves? Like majority of people see elves when they go in there.
Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe it's
So I'm saying, like, is the DMT actually unlocking something in your brain? Like, is that true? Like,
What if it's
actually,
just like that's allowing you to see things how they're supposed to be seen?
What if
and
that's
like
the
it
afterlife?
not being released is just our brain suppressing us to see at a different
No, exactly. So like a lot
perception.
of
You know what I mean?
cultures have like the third eye.
Yeah,
especially
like
even
that.
ours.
Yeah.
Like we have, you you open your eye, and maybe that's what the DMT does. That's what a lot of people think.
What do you think about that? The third eye and stuff. You think that's a thing?
Is there like an actual another like what do they call that? Ephemeral or whatever, ethereal realm where it's like spirits and shit like that we can only get to with DMT?
Maybe, or it's just a sort of like a not a hallucination, but like a thing that's just caused by all the chemicals and stuff that you're just tripping. But that leads me into another question then, because I don't necessarily think it's like spirits and things, but maybe, I don't know. Do you guys believe in Jesus? and
well, I mean, that falls under
God.
the same realm, so that's fair.
That's yeah. That's what or the creator in our culture.
Do I believe in some kind of higher power creating life?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. But I
Okay.
believe if it is biblical standard, then it's going to be like the Old Testament style. Where have you ever seen Bible accurate angels?
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is like
They look scary.
dude, they have like 1,000 eyes. They have fucking like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
They're like
They're
massively
weird
big.
shapes.
they're terrifying creatures. Like so, but that's the thing. They would be so amazingly like terrifying and just awestruck. Like our brains wouldn't comprehend. That's why I think
we
it's
wouldn't
true.
be afraid of them.
Well, not that we wouldn't even be able to comprehend. That's what I think.
like just yeah.
Yeah. I think me and one of my buddies were talking about this one day. It's like a new age belief. It's called, where like I believe like a higher power gave us the ability to evolve. Like so, I believe evolution did happen,
Yeah.
but I believe we were given the power to evolve.
So there's there's
Okay.
the distinction. Do you believe in evolution or do you believe in adaptation?
Okay, so
'Cause
what's
there's
the
a big
difference?
difference.
What's the
So
difference?
evolution is the provable change over time because of an environmental factor that over millions of years people have adjusted and have like evolved past what wouldn't have been sufficient. So evolution means like let's say monkeys aren't good enough at doing whatever we needed to do to survive. So then that's why we evolved.
Yeah.
Or do you believe because we've lived in a desert for 100,000 years that we're got darker skin? You know, people in Africa, I mean.
Mm.
Is that like do you believe in both or like what do you is
I
one
know. I
more
believe.
predominant
I
than the other?
believe that there's like people are born just dark. Like people can be born with.
No, I
dark
know.
skin.
I'm just saying like adaptation. So the human race has adapted to do that, so we don't get skin cancer. But we're not as dark up here because we don't get as much sun.
Yeah, no. Adaptation
You know what I mean?
makes more sense. Yeah.
Than
But,
direct
like,
evolution.
Yeah, but like I feel like yeah, we did start from like a single cell
believe that?
organism.
I don't know. I think there's certain branches, maybe, but like I don't think you can prove there's no provable link between one cell organisms.
Yeah,
and
no,
humans.
but
There's
like you
no-
know what I mean. But like from whatever we started out as, like I believe that a higher power gave us the ability of adaptation
Yeah,
or
100%.
evolution. or
Because why
whatever.
don't like you see it in animal cultures, but like why are we the sentient ones? Why do we? You know what I mean?
What gives us the ability to be able to think the way we think?
Yeah, because based on mass alone, we shouldn't be the only species that is able to think on the level that we do. So what is it that gives us that? You know what I mean? It must. That's why I think there's some kind of
And that's where it comes in with the whole like we have a spirit, what makes
Exactly.
us different, and that our bodies are just vessels.
So that's it. Like the religious thing, like you said about Jesus and stuff like that. That's why I can't diss. That's why I can't like diss people that believe in like.
Like I believe in that stuff. Like
No,
I
I
don't
mean
believe
morals.
the Bible to 100%. Oh, morals.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like people think that their morals are all based off their religious beliefs and things like that. Which,
Oh yeah.
fair if you believe that. Like there's no way for me to disprove that. But at the same time, I think you can be a normal person without religion.
Mm-hmm. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't believe in like Adam and Eve and like that stuff, like some of the Bible stories. But like, I believe that there probably was a Jesus at one point and all that stuff.
There for sure was a Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He looked a lot different than they say he did in the
I
Bible.
don't even think he was definitely would have had darker skin.
Dude, he was like
He was
like Middle Eastern.
he would have been like Iraqi.
Dude,
like,
yeah, he was a Middle Eastern Jew that was like 5'5" or something. Like he was short as fuck. That's what I'm saying, man.
Not this white ripped.
No, dude, he
looking
wasn't this
dude.
right.
That 6 foot fucking.
I was about to
two.
say 6'2" white dude up on a cross. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't think I believe in anything. So I grew up Catholic. I think that's what we were.
Yeah.
Catholic Christian, and I I remember being I sort of forced to go. So I was like, I believed in it sort of, and I was so scared to like swear. And was like, oh, Jesus, God is watching me and stuff. And this was when I was pretty young. Like, I was scared to do all that sort of things. And then, I don't know when it was, but one day, or maybe it was over time, I was just like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And then, I started, like, to stop believing in it. And then around, I think it's high school, I was forced to go again. I had to go again to friggin' fulfill my, Was it first? Not first communion. First something. Confession or something. So I had to go do that. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! Like it pissed me off because I didn't like going, and I didn't necessarily believe in any. So it was just sitting there like, okay, well, okay, keep going.
I don't like the whole aspect where they make you like, oh, if you swear you're not, you know what I mean? You like that's
like
bad,
you sin
or
and like super sin.
There's nothing saying swearing is bad, man. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe if you're swearing at someone, but like they try to make it so that you're like almost afraid to do anything bad as a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's just all in the interpretation. That's what it all comes down to.
Because I went to Sunday school till grade 6.
I didn't go that far. I stopped. I don't know. I stopped pretty young, and then, like I said, high school. My grandmother and my parents were like, "Okay, just go do this." I'm like, "Well, I really have to. I don't friggin' believe in it anymore." Like,
yeah, it's weird that it's weird that you did that as like a teenager.
Well, that's no, not every. I mean, there was a few other people that I knew from the school that had to do it too around that time.
Oh, okay.
And they might have kept going to like Sunday school and things throughout up until high school, but I didn't because I didn't care to go. Don't like going. Didn't believe in it, and then but like I said, I was forced to go then, which is so dumb looking back on it. I don't know. It was yeah, it was mostly my parents and mostly my grandmother that were like, you got to go do this, you got to go do that. I'm like, why, guys? Come on.
Religion is a weird one, very weird, because it's like basically the biggest what if, basically the biggest what if in life. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, you know, what if this guy is real? If he is real, then yeah, I should have been fucking praying every day, probably.
And if he
when
is
when the
real-
rapture comes, that's the ultimate belief in Christianity, is that one day there is going to be an end, and that it's gonna, you know, I mean, that's gonna save you.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even like not even just like with the rapture, but like I would rather believe in something than nothing, and then die and there be something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
would you know how they speak of like Jesus and God and stuff, like he's this forgiving person and things?
No, he's not.
I was gonna say, if you don't believe in him and you end up at the pearly gates and they're like, did you pray this many times?
I don't think it goes.
It doesn't even. No, it doesn't even matter, because the ultimate godly thing is to let that person.
That's
in.
what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, it really shouldn't even matter
that you have faith or not, or how good you are.
I think it should matter if you have faith or not. Just how good you are. Just in your determinant. Just because this person said you're not. You know what I mean? Like, you got those super preachers on TV and shit that are like, you got to pay this much money to.
Yeah.
Fucking
those are the devils, man.
Yeah,
those are the devils.
Do you see that old guy?
Oh, the one that bought Tyler Perry's jet?
Yeah, the one that bought the one that has crazy eyes.
Yeah.
He's like,
he's the devil.
He's like, I had to buy it. It was such a good deal.
That's like $30-some million private jet or something.
That's the devil, boys.
Bro, he's something going on there.
Or, Kenneth Copeland.
They said they'd come back. Like, if anything ever did come back, is that they would fake people into believing a false prophecy. So,
have you guys read the Bible?
No, not from start to finish.
No, I've read
scriptures. Yeah.
Didn't read a single fucking thing.
The one I'm gonna start, I think, actually is the Quran. Actually, I'm super interested in that.
I like the Revelations.
But also, like, the only thing is people act like it's such a bad, like, religion. All religion is bad, in my opinion.
Causing wars for millions or thousands of years.
But if you read back on all the old shit, everyone was getting married to kids.
That, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So nobody's free of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucked up things moralistically in a lot of the religions and stuff.
That is one thing
weird.
That is one thing that it'll always keep me away from, like, Christianity and stuff like that. Do you know, like, Bible canon? Like what the Bible canon is, depending on, because you know what canon is for shows, like the continuity of a show. Yeah. So depending on which one you are, like King James, whatever else the other ones are, there's like, dude, there's books that aren't even included. There's, you know what I mean? There's ones that completely dismiss the Old Testament, only the New Testament. So it's very picky, you know what I mean? Wish-washy. That's my issue with religion. But is there stuff in the afterlife? Definitely.
Yeah, I think there's something, man. We have an energy to us.
Yeah, exactly.
And that energy has to go somewheres.
Back into the universe, just poof, gone.
You think so?
Nothing. I don't necessarily think it goes like, I know there's like an energy to us, like you can just.
But you said you believe in ghosts.
I know, that's why I don't.
No,
I
no, seriously,
do
yeah.
because I've had 2 experiences that I generally think are ghosts, but that doesn't necessarily make me want to believe like there's like a higher power. Like is he
No, but like
described
an
as, like,
afterlife.
yeah, I don't know. Still hard to say because there's the only proof that I have are ghosts, but we don't necessarily know what that is. Like, is that some form of like a spirit? Is it like some theories are like
It's like it's a
time travel, like different timelines. Like this is a person you've seen
Yeah.
from in the same
Yeah.
area, but it's like a different timeline or like past and future of people.
So you potentially believe in like an alternate universe,
I
parallel to ours.
I think I don't necessarily maybe believe in it, but I think that would be fucking cool. That's
Terrence's idea kind of sounds a lot like I'm thinking like Interstellar when he's fucking
Mhm.
doing like the bookcases and
oh
shit,
yeah,
man.
that shit was cool.
That would make a lot of sense because
Yeah.
I'll just say my ghost story. Fucking when we're hanging out, I was hanging out at fucking
Oh yeah. I think I know
with
where.
J and F.
Yeah.
Over at their place. We
Oh,
worked with them.
yes.
Yeah. And Jared was there.
Yeah.
And man, we're all fucking. It was me, my dad, those two, and Jared, and we're all half asleep, and like we're literally all passed out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm awake. I'm wide awake. Like I'm not wide awake, but like I can see. My eyes are open.
Yeah.
And I literally just see the fucking screwdriver fly at the screen, man. And it smashes into the TV, and we all wake up, and we're like, "What the fuck?
Were you the
Who
only one
threw
awake?
that?" No, yeah.
Holy.
Everyone else was on the nod. Like Jared, I think it was just me and Jared were up actually.
I was gonna say I
Pretty
think
sure.
I remember him mentioning that, and he's seen like
And then we were both looking around, like me and Jared were looking at each other, like, who the fuck threw that?
That's
like we did not
creepy.
know, man. That was the scariest shit I ever.
like how can you explain that? You know what I mean? So you saw it? Did you see it like where it was, and then where it?
No,
flew,
I didn't
like,
have an
flew?
idea. I didn't have an eye on it before.
just-
But then
okay.
as it came flying, I saw it in the air, and that's it. And it was like a bullet, man. It was straight. There was no drop on that thing at all. You didn't toss it. It was like somebody literally like fucking lined it.
Holy
It was
shit.
deadly. Didn't do anything to the screen.
Yeah, you can't explain something like that.
No, it was super weird,
like,
man.
what
That's the
the
only
fuck?
That's why I believe.
I was in the shower one day. This was actually like not even too long ago. This was like maybe a month and a half ago.
Oh shit. Okay.
I was having a shower, and my little shower with my bathroom door open when I'm home alone,
Okay.
and I have the lights off, and I'm just sitting there chilling, listening to music, and then all of a sudden I hear the fucking door just slam shut, boys, and I was like, okay, maybe I have a window open, maybe someone
Kinda
come in
draft.
upstairs
Yeah.
and
Or
they
one
suck
of
the
your
door,
animals or
or
something.
something like that. Don't I look out the curtain? My dog's sitting there with his head down, just staring at the door. Didn't even want to get up to go out in there.
Oh god.
Felt like Will Ferrell. I was like, I'm so fucking scared right now.
Man, so what'd you do?
I just got back in the shower and just pretended like I was a draft.
There you go. That's all. It was.
I'd be scared to wash my hair with
I
my eyes
didn't.
closed.
I was already past that part. I
well,
just had
I
to finish rinsing off the soap in my body, but then I was like, fuck, now I have to get out.
You're like, this is it right here.
Yeah, like okay, I'm gonna hurry up now. Check out this.
But like,
That's
I
pretty
just
creepy.
can't explain it because no one had come in.
Yeah.
All my windows were shut and my door was open all the way. Like it wasn't shut,
That's
and it was like with force.
is how heavy is your door? Like is it weighted where it
No,
could, like,
it's
it could like carry? Or
no,
is
it's
it
not.
light?
It's light.
That's weird, man. I don't know. That's weird.
Like they're just like little cheap doors, like where if you could, they're hollow in the middle.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
you
I
fucking
know.
Punch right through.
Yeah.
that or something.
I had a couple. Yeah. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, and that was just like, yeah, not even that long ago.
Other than your dog reacting like that, did it like bark? Did he like jump up? or
He
something?
kind of
Was
like, I heard his collar like
He
look
sat-
over at the
I
door,
was like, what the fuck?
and because like he's the one that gives off since when I know something weird's going on.
Yeah.
Like one night, laying in bed at the same place in Fredericton, we're just watching TV, pitch black out in the living room. We have our night light on in the bedroom.
Yeah.
He's dead asleep, wakes up growling, hair standing up, staring at the door. I couldn't move. I was so scared. I was like, Cypher, leave that down.
Oh man, have you ever thought? Let's say you're staring at the TV and you think you feel something to your like right or left, and you just sit there, just look at the TV, and you don't even want to move because you don't want to even look over and see if there's something there.
You know, they say a weird
that
thing is that when
feeling.
you have that feeling, there usually is something.
Oh, fuck,
there.
that scared me. You know what I just pictured? So sitting there, and then a face right up to here, just staring at
like
you.
right, imagine
Yeah.
it's like right in your ear.
Yeah,
looking-
basically breathing, just staring at you. Oh, fuck. That just almost gave me chills, man. That's scary. So I'll jump into my story then. Well, I have two. So I'll go with the less scary one. Less, not explainable, but so I was at a friend's house that lives around here, and it was a trampoline in his backyard, and it's the view right next to the sandhill. So you know who I'm talking about.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that trampoline's back there, and I think the tree, for anybody that's listening that obviously doesn't know, the sandhill is this area on the reserve that's like, we call it down the hill, and it's down by like a walking trail, and it's this old like sandhill that we used to play on, like slide down when it like snowed and stuff. And at this point it was probably like spring or something, and we're out jumping on it, and I think from his backyard you have a clear view. At least at that time there was a clear view, and there was no like really trees in the way. And so I'm hopping on it, and I think he went inside to do something or whatever, so I'm just jumping on it, and I look up at the sandhill, and if you're looking at it down, the sandhill leads up from the left up to the top of like the peak, and it's a long like trail that you walk, I guess. And so from the left to right, I seen this. You know how they describe ghosts like it's transparent, like that fake, like
Yep.
how it's typical ghost. So I seen from this thing on this top of the hill just go from left to right in like the most stereotypical ghost way, like this floating, transparent looking thing that had like, I don't know if it's like raggy clothes.
Was it like a full body operation?
It
or
was
it
sort
just
of like yeah, somebody was like floating along, like how typical ghosts are described and shown in like movies and stuff. It scared the shit out of me and like freaked me out. Not scared me like to like make me cry or something, but I was so scared I literally hopped off the trampoline as fast as I could. And then just as I think he was coming out, I was like, I fucking seen something up there. Like I seen something just, and it was so unexplainable. It just from left to right, just all the way, just floated. It's so weird.
See, now you actually seen something, man. Because like
that's
we've
the
only
first one.
heard things going on around us.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, that I didn't like. I don't know if it was just maybe my vision from like that distance. It was like a person.
was it colored?
Or-
Was there color?
No, it was like typical. It's so long ago, so maybe my memory's fucking it up. You know how you
Yeah.
remember things and you could change things over time. But what I want to say I saw was like darkish hair, but like not too dark, so it's like transparent, like I was saying,
Mhm.
and like transparent white kind of clothing, and it's just like floating,
Fluttering
fluttering
eh?
across. Just went from that, and maybe it could be explained. It was like a person walking, but then I should have
Yeah.
probably like checked on it. Like, why was the person walking up there by themselves?
Yeah,
Just
nobody goes down there by themselves.
Just walking up there, especially back
Yeah.
then. Like nowadays, maybe somebody would go for a walk. Even then,
Back in
but-
the day, kids were always told don't go down there because old Alice is down there.
speaking of, do you guys believe in Old Alice?
I believe that like there was a story
So yeah, the story goes.
that she was picking blueberries.
She's a native that lived here.
Native woman, an older lady.
How long ago was this? Does the story take place?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I couldn't see. So it could be all myth. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
what
who
I
fucking
a
knows,
res
man?
legend.
Yeah.
I think maybe it is because I've never heard someone around here come out and say, "Yeah, I'm related to her." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
If she lived here and she was native, obviously, someone around here is going to be related.
But she
to
could
her.
have even been from another reserve. How we have a lot of people here from like
Maybe.
other reserves.
No, I thought she was one that happened in like the 70s.
I was
That's what I
gonna
thought it was.
Yeah, not that long ago.
See,
right?
I thought
That's
it
what
was
I'm
like
saying.
roughly like 50s to 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
within that
that's-
area. Like, it was
yeah.
definitely my grandparents' time.
But anyways, the legend goes
Yeah.
she was picking blueberries. Couple military guys come up. tell her they're going to do something. I don't know the whole story. They ended up taking her off and killing her.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently her ghost still haunts down the hill as we described, because that's where it all took place after they took her.
Mm.
But I've never seen anything to prove that. I mean, I've heard stories of people seeing like a guy down there in a trench coat.
I've heard that.
That's
too.
what I'll talk about after we talk about this. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I remember.
but old Alice, like I think that was more or less the parents telling us that to keep us from going down in there.
That's what,
'cause of the
yeah,
river.
probably.
that's what I think. Yeah, didn't want us playing down the tracks. Wanted to know where we were.
Yeah, didn't want us close to the river.
Yeah, because if it was, so I was always assumed that somebody would have been like, yeah, she was a part of my family or something. Like I'm related to her, but I never heard that. So I always assume, okay, maybe the story took place way back then, like back when there's like no buildings here and stuff. So like that far back. And then I was thinking, well, no, if it was the military men, that aspect, then it's probably not too long ago. But then if that was the case, we would have heard more things about it. I never thought to Google
The
it.
only reason
Yeah,
I
no,
say-
that
yeah.
makes
The only reason I say that is just because the base, because it's military guys. So the base was built in like the 60s, I think it was, like
Yeah.
mid 60s.
So
That's
it
the only
has
reason
to
I
be.
say like 60s plot, like 70s kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows, right? You never know.
That's why I kind of think it's like a myth,
Just to
just
keep kids from down
kids. I think so. I mean, maybe that's who I saw up on the.
I mean,
that's sad. Like,
it's happened to a lot of women. So
That's
a lot
true,
of Native
yeah.
women, I should say.
but
sure.
now this one, I've heard more than one person say they've seen down
The
there.
devil on the tracks.
I've heard people say that they've been chased
Is it-
down there by a guy in a trench coat,
Yeah,
man.
I've heard that one. Yeah.
They can't see his feet or his face,
Or his face.
Mm-hmm.
but he wears a black trench coat with like a rain hat.
Yep. I've heard that described a few times. I know. So my girlfriend's grandfather said he was walking down there or something with somebody. I don't know how young he was. And he's seen him sitting on top of like a tree staring at them and stuff. I don't remember. She just told me it recently. And so I don't remember if she said like he like bolted and was like, what the fuck? Or what. But yeah, just sitting on top of a tree, just kind of like staring, looking at them.
Well, my godson,
Yeah.
you know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Well, the mom,
Mm-hmm.
apparently she had an incident down there by
yes.
herself. She was walking around down there and got chased up back to the
Goddamn.
sandhill. Because I remember she was freaking right out, man, going crazy and like not going crazy, but like scared as a kid. And she said a man in a black coat was chasing me.
Oh man, that's creepy.
Yeah, it's just it's weird to have more than one person describe the same thing.
Yeah. I think my uncle had a run-in with it too. I think is a faint story.
Across the road, they've
Um,
had run-ins over there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and so his description I think was the same thing, like a hat and trench coat. But I might be getting the two stories crossed with just general people talking about it. But he's like hooves for feet.
Yes, yeah. My dad's told me that
Like
one.
the
That's
wall
from my
hunt, right?
grandparents.
Like that's like that would be the name for it. Would be
Well, we hear a little, or maybe it's a big rat or a mouse right now. So as soon as you brought it up, what did
Where's
we
the
hear?
odds?
We hear a little.
But yeah, the wool hunt. I've heard that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the thing that's supposed to like
Maybe
go up
that's-
and down the tracks
yeah,
with
maybe
like
that's
the
his
hooves
name.
and no head.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember when he saw it or if he saw it and what happened, but that's like the general story I heard. So same thing, same story.
Oh my god. Thinking about it. Now that you said this, I don't know why I didn't think of it. My grandfather was down, you know where the train is?
Oh,
along the tracks, like
yeah,
down behind the
that way.
mall.
Yeah.
Him, I can say these names because they're older people. Brian Keenan and like that age group of people
Okay.
were walking down there because the power was all there, so they had flashlights, man. Didn't they see someone jump down from the top of that train and run off to the baseball field? Tall, black.
And like
They
just
didn't.
disappear.
They didn't bother following.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I suppose, yeah. Oh man, that's creepy.
My dad told me stories about that as a kid. fucking what's his name? The devil in the tracks there, man. Pretty crazy stuff. Same description. It's a guy in like a fucking black trench coat. Huge, massive guy in a black trench coat.
Yeah, like he's like this guy's like 7 or 8 feet tall.
Yeah, like like
from what I've
inhumanly
heard.
big. Like
Yeah. Not recently. The last 15 years. I don't think I ever heard any news stories
No,
about
because
it.
no kids play
Nobody
down
really go
there.
down there anymore.
No,
It's not
nobody
like that.
ever really goes down there anymore.
I know when we were younger, we
that was the
did.
spot,
That was a
man.
different time though. It's different.
Like
time.
we went out and played as kids. You know,
We
what
didn't
I mean?
have this
Like, we didn't
technology.
have technology and stuff. But like,
Sure,
boy, should we go sit down there one night?
Oh,
there you
speaking
go.
of, one night I did kind of like ghost hunt in the fisheries building.
I was with you.
And
I was
yeah,
there.
Nothing happened.
One of these
so-
weekends.
No,
we go
but
sit on the
we
tracks.
should just go like somewhere outside and sit.
Okay, yeah, we bring
Like-
what is it, recorders? and
Yeah,
stuff?
and ask questions. And
EMF.
shit.
There you
And
go.
stuff. That's
Yeah.
creepy.
Maybe do it around Halloween for a Halloween episode or something.
Could
Oh, there you go.
that'd be
This
creepy.
guy's got it.
Yeah, I could record it and then upload it and stuff. That freaked me out. Just think about it.
Yeah,
I remember walking back with so we were all playing down there. Were we playing like tag or something? I don't know if you were there. We were playing like tag or something. Or,
Man
or
tracker.
Like man tracker, hide and seek
Tracker.
or something. There was like one person, and there was a couple of us like running away trying to hide or whatever. And it's nighttime. It's dark. Probably decently late. And I was walking. So my girlfriend's brother was there with us, and he lost his phone or something. I can't remember. So he's like, I'm gonna head back towards which would have been his house at the time, like down. And I was like, okay, I'll come with you. And we were going down, and nothing happened, nothing scary or anything. But these two fucking cats just start fucking mauling each other, just freaking going crazy. We're like, oh, like what the fuck is that? Like freaking out, and just probably just two cats, but that'd probably be the time to see anything or hear anything, because I don't know if we had
I
any
always
lights.
used to be scared walking past that trail.
Oh hell no, yeah.
Because like every time I'd walk past there, I feel like I could hear footsteps or like branches cracking, but like obviously it could be animals, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
as a kid, you don't think that.
All in my head, I would just picture something looking at me, like when I
You
walk
see
home
eyes
from,
open.
walk home from like your house or something. We have a fire down there or whatever, and it's nighttime. I just picture like something just watching me. I'm like, okay, I just gotta go.
Bro, I wasn't
Power
scared of
past.
down the hill until we just started like talking about this again. Like that shit's creepy down there, man.
Oh yeah,
It is,
Like,
eh?
at nighttime, it's different in there.
Oh, 100%. That's why I never liked going down there. Like these fucking guys always wanted to go down there and play man tracker or some shit. Like
It's
it's
fun,
scary
man.
down there, man.
That is creepy.
Even the back trails here by the
Oh,
out the woods.
those ones are
If you went
worse.
there at night, though, that'd be
Oh.
terrifying.
Standing in the baseball diamond, that big
Man.
open field, and in a pitch black, and you just
I don't know. For
hoping
whatever,
you don't see a shadow on the
for
other
whatever
side.
reason, I might not be as scared.
What?
I don't
Man,
know.
You're walking along that. I think about this all the time. You're walking along that riverside, that
Yeah.
riverbed, and just think about that. You have that whole field of just watching something charging at you. and
Ooh.
just something coming fast. as
And there's
moving.
nowhere for
No.
you to run except for
Oh,
straight.
And then the
No.
other side, you got nothing. So you're not gonna notice it until it's already
Oh
killing you.
no.
That place is
That's pretty
terrifying in
scary.
there, man.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I had a bad. It's not ghost related, but I had a bad fucking experience in there. So we're all going through there because we're like, okay, it's a shortcut up to the other end, and we're going through, and there's like a tree knocked over or something, and so it's laying on its side, but the edge is sticking up and pointing out. Oh my god! And so we're all talking or whatever, and I turn around to keep walking up through this wooded area, and I turn around and I fucking walk face first into that the tree that's sticking out with the sharp ends, and right to my fucking eye. Thankfully I closed my eye quick enough, and it hit right in the fucking eyelid,
in the corner.
and it hurt so fucking bad. Thankfully I could see, but I couldn't open my eye. It hurt so bad. Thankfully I didn't get fucking impaled on it. But oh
It was like one of our buddies, KB. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
yeah.
We were walking down the brook, and he got a fucking stick in the eye, bro.
Oh.
Hey, but when he took his hand away, it stayed there.
Oh no. Holy shit.
It wasn't like a big
Still
stick,
though,
but it was like he took his hand away, and it stayed in his eye.
Oh. Did it lead to any damage? Fuck.
No, I don't think so because we kept going.
Oh, stupid thing, because that entrance to the wooded area is where it happened, and it's close to my house. What did I do? Keep going all the way through with everybody in pain. Come back as soon as we get out. I just walked home, all the way back down from the other end, up down to my house, and just immediately I sat there with like a cold face cloth on my eye. My eye hurt so fucking bad. Just fucked up.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the legends around the reserve.
Two legends, yeah.
Yeah, do you ever hear about people seeing like fireballs or anything?
I've heard of that in the past, but not recently by any means.
Yeah, like there's
been a
not
long
nothing
time,
recently.
man.
Like my dad and one of his buddies were putting up Christmas lights one year, and they said they seen this light coming up from down that trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said they got up to about Allison's house, and then it just went poof, like disappeared. Next day, one of our community members passed away in a tragic car accident.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before,
Maybe.
actually. Yeah.
Maybe it was their spirit.
Well, it's supposed to be a sign that's like of death.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe you know what? As much as I, like I said, don't believe in afterlife or higher power, I think just having that would be cool. But maybe I sort of believe in it. You know what I mean?
I just don't want there to be nothing. I think that's why I believe so much, because I just don't want there to be nothing for eternity after.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't
realize that
you
it's
wouldn't know.
nothing because you're dead. But like
you before you were
but
born.
if we have a spirit, like I don't want to be just stuck walking around here either.
Yeah. See, that's the
Like, what
that
if when
goes
you
back.
die and you're like walking around as a spirit, do you realize that you are dead? Or like, are
I don't
you
know.
sitting there like, hey, like, why don't you fucking see me?
Generally, I think anytime anyone's not anyone, but vast majority of people describing ghosts, they're just kind of like wandering off, like no one's they're not reacting to anybody saying stuff. They're just kind of like
Do you
off
think
doing their own
their
thing.
cause of death has a big part of that?
Yeah, the distinction I think is, are they satisfied when they die? Is their life satisfied? Because obviously nobody is ready to like for death. Obviously nobody's like, oh yeah, okay, so this is it. People are like that, but it's not like
You get them down to the last final seconds, they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They can say they are, but when it really gets down to it, nobody
and you're about to
wants
go,
die.
nobody wants to go.
I don't. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Is like, are you happy with where you were in your life? Were you know what I mean?
Like, were you taken and like were you like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
an accident or something?
you
or young?
bit different.
you really didn't want to and stuff. Is
You
that
still
why?
had lots to do.
Is that why your spirit's like
stuck
wandering
here?
Being
around?
trapped. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Well, do you say when you have unfinished business like that, you're stuck in purgatory until you can figure it out?
Or just, do you think they have a chance to figure it out, or are they just like fucking stuck there because they can't do anything? You know what I mean? I don't
See,
know.
we don't know. You know what I
Don't
mean?
know.
Because like
That's
we
the
don't know if
distinction.
if they actually can have the ability to change something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like remember we were talking about that book last episode where he can go back in time.
Yeah, it was a short story by Stephen King called, I think it's just straight up called Afterlife.
Yeah, and he they
Yeah.
gave him the option to keep reliving that
His same life, exactly down to the T. And he's like, okay, well, this time I'm going to try real hard to remember. And I think he went through it like 15 times already. And so he's like, I really, really want to remember something. And I think, if I recall properly, that he also mentioned like he'll sort of remember something because that's why you experience deja vu. Like you sort of remember vaguely, but you're stuck doing the same thing. Every time you pick to go back and relive it, you're doing the same thing over and over. Nothing changes. And he's like, I've talked to you this, I've told you this like 15 times already. Like nothing changes. But he's like, this time I can try. This time.
Yeah, I
same
can see the
thing.
deja vu aspect.
Yeah, me too.
Super,
Yeah, that made up a pretty good.
So do you guys think
interesting-
that like you've been alive before?
yeah.
Like, do you think like our spirits have been in a different body and we're just unable to remember?
I think.
That would fucking suck, man.
No, I think this is our only time living, but I think also we have like guiding spirits. Like I do believe in that, guiding spirits of our ancestors, kind of giving us like a preview, like because I have that when I go to sleep, is what's known as like the witches gene or whatever. It's supposed to be a thing where if you know you had like witch ancestors, something that can be passed down is you can see in your dreams like what's going to happen. So
Oh,
yeah,
like-
that happens to me a lot. Is I'll have a dream and then like the timeline is always rough. It's
Right.
it's from weeks to months to sometimes even a year later. But something will happen and I have dreamt it like previously. It's extremely interesting because I'll be getting to that point of where I'm like, this is going to happen, and
Yeah.
I will make it so it doesn't.
Yeah, my
Mm.
grandmother has stuff
Or
like that,
if
man.
I keep pushing,
Yeah.
and I let things happen how it happened in the dream, then it will happen exactly what
That you
it's
saw?
supposed to. Like it's unreal.
Is it like certain, like really?
It's just true. It's specific moments.
I was gonna say,
important
is this
moments.
very specific moments, and is it very specific, like normal mundane dreams, like
The-
normal life, basically?
No, it's just specific things. Like when my grandparents, my indigenous grandparents here passed away, specifically my grandmother. I already knew, like I already had knew like the day,
Oh shit!
like the day of. I was like, oh, she passed away, like that morning.
Did you let anybody know? Did you tell them, like, I think?
Yeah, I told my dad.
and he was like, "No."
He called my grandparents and she
confirmed it.
passed away.
Oh, I do hear a lot of stories like that. They're like, yeah, I knew how my grandmother passed because that night or whatever, we were standing. I think recently I just read they had like Thanksgiving dinner or something, and he was chilling there, and he had to go out on the deck for like maybe it was a smoke or something. Looked out and he saw his grandmother there, just outside,
They say that
and he's like, well, that's weird. And he goes in, he's like, grandma so and so died, and they're all like, you're crazy. And then they get the call like a couple minutes later, yeah, she did. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I believe in
well,
that.
because they say that usually the spirit when you die says one last goodbye to everybody in the physical world.
Or in dreams.
Yeah.
Some people have
That's
described
true.
it.
Yeah,
That's true.
I've had a dream like that before.
I
It
have.
was
I haven't.
really surreal, man. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was like after that all happened with him, and we were standing at the high school, man, inside, and he was looking at me, and I couldn't really understand what he was saying, but he was trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and walked out the doors, but it was all white. I couldn't see outside the doors. And then after he walked, he just disappeared.
Boom.
I have mine. Actually, I have something similar. Actually, that happens a lot. I still have it to this day. Every once in a, I don't know. It's like every couple months I'll have it. But we're in the gym over here. We're in the band hall.
Yeah.
Years ago playing basketball.
Mhm.
We did it literally like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I just remember him being like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna go," and then he just leaves. And like you said, white. It's just like white.
Like
behind
you
the doors,
can't
and
see outside.
and he's gone. But like you look at the windows because of the way the band hall was at that time, and you could see outside. It was
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, I remember that. I was like, man, still sticks with me. It's
Yeah,
crazy how
I'll
weird.
never forget that dream, man. That was one of those ones that like I really felt like he was like visiting me.
Yeah. Like telling you, like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, yeah, speaking of dreams, the only dreams I have of like people that have passed or like pets, like recently,
Pets?
we had a pet die, and the only dreams I have is that they're alive, right? But in the dream, I realize I'm like, oh no, they're dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is kind of cool that they're back, but during the dream, I realized that like, oh, you know, I wish you could bring them back. Like, how's this happening? I immediately realized that, yeah, they're gone during the dream, instead of just like some people were like they don't know that they're gone. They don't make the realization, but every time I'm like, oh yeah, you know, how's this happening?
See, I don't have the consciousness in the dream to do that. To realize like, oh fuck, I'm dreaming.
I do. quite a bit.
I can't. I don't realize. And well, I mean, sometimes I wake up and like, oh shit, I was dreaming. Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
But like, while I'm dreaming, I don't have the ability to be like, oh shit, this is a dream. Okay.
Yeah.
only lucid dream every once in a, very rarely.
I don't know if I'd consider that lucid. It's sort of, but because I don't think that I have like control over my dreams, like how it's described in lucid dreaming. But there's moments where it's like that, where I kind of know that, like, oh, like something's up, like this
Fuck, I
this
wish-
person's gone. I
I
know.
wish I could just like close my eyes and go to sleep, and I'm just living like a rich billionaire lifestyle. And
I
like,
wish it was like that.
Wouldn't that
You know,
wouldn't you wake up depressed though? You'd be like,
no, I'd wake up and be like, I can't wait to go back to bed tonight.
then you'd just be living in that world rather than living in the real life.
That's what's gonna happen.
real world.
VR. Don't worry.
That's true. Yeah.
We're all gonna get on the fucking Skynet, and that's how it's gonna be anyway.
We're
Don't worry about it.
Lincoln. So I want to jump back to a different previous story we were talking about. I don't know if this is the Devil on the Tracks description, but my mom in the same house that we live in, just 2 feet over, basically, she saw what she described as, I don't know if she knows the wrestler, but she describes it as like the Undertaker in our basement. I don't know if it was like shortly after I was born or shortly before. She's seen somebody dressed up like old school Undertaker, like one of those like caretakers, but those people. And in our basement, in our laundry room area, she was like doing laundry or something, turned over and saw him standing there, just chilling.
Well, my grandfather,
Freaked her right out.
like, God, it wouldn't. I don't know that this wouldn't be that, but so they were sitting in their living room one night, and now my grandfather's, he lives across from the power plant,
Yeah,
and he said, like, when you're sitting in his living room, you can see down in there.
that's kind of creepy. I don't like that.
He said one night him and my grandmother were sitting there, and they looked out, and they said they seen someone leaning up against the pole, like with their head down, but they said they had like what's the style of Elvis Presley hair? A Palmerdale or
Like
something?
pompadour.
Yeah, pompadour.
Oh, yeah.
They said he had hair like that, and he was just sitting there like breathing like that, and then they said he just walked off down into the woods. So I don't know if it was like a ghost or if they actually seen someone, but like my
I don't know.
grandfather's house is like, I think, severely haunted. I lived there for a year in the basement, and there's like a hole in the wall that leads into an extension of the house, and it's just like rocks on the ground in the basement.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I lived down there.
Oh,
I lived in the basement, and like laying in my bed where it was out, and like if I went like this, I could just see that hole in the wall. And like I've heard stories from that house, man. Like my dad, he lived there. He said he had a dream he was being pulled off his bed. Woke up in the morning and he was knees off his bed.
Holy.
Oh, that's creepy.
You know what I mean? And like there was another time my grandfather told me like somebody told him like fuck, there's somebody breaking into your house. Your doors are all wide open down there. So he went down, and he had 2 German Shepherds at the time, and he went down, and the doors were all wide open, but pitch black in his house.
Ugh.
Tried to get his dogs to go in. Apparently the dogs wouldn't go in. And like that's when I'm like, okay, like there was something. He's like, he just shut his doors and he just went back to where he was at.
He's like, I'm not going until the morning. Did you have, other than it being creepy vibes, do you have anything happen there?
No, not me. Not to me.
Yeah.
It's an old house. It's like old. So it just creaks and stuff, but like
just gives creepy vibes.
Yeah.
I've had two other, not me personally, I guess, but 2 other described instances at my house. So one was when somebody that we know was used to watch us, right? A couple years older than me. And she was just chilling, I guess. I don't know. I think I fell asleep on the couch in the living room with like a light on or something. She's just hanging out. I don't know what she was doing because I was sleeping, but she rushes in and wakes me up in a fucking full-fledged panic, freaked out. And she's like, hey, like, can you call your mom on this phone? I'm shaking so hard I can't even put in the numbers. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what happened? I can't remember exactly, but I think she saw something or something happened to her, and she's like was freaking out. And so I was like, okay, I'll just call. And I can't remember what happened from there, but that's one that sticks out, like something like freaked her out.
Was this JM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
okay, so if that was her,
yeah,
it takes a lot to scare her.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't think she would have made it up either.
Like,
the full-fledged panic like that. I don't think so. And there was another instance that was less like scary. But I think yeah, my parents, when they switched rooms, their room was downstairs, and one day my dad was sitting on the bed, and I don't know if my mom was in there with him, but he felt the bed towards by his feet sink in, like somebody sat on it, and he thought it was like the cat, I think, or I don't know if they had Freya at the time, a cat or something, and he's like, it's weird, whatever, and he looks up and there was nobody there, no animal, no person, and he said he just felt like somebody
Push like
sat down right by his legs.
weird, man.
And I never heard, well, this last story that I'll get into eventually involved me and him, but I never heard of him like having really tell us anything like that happened, but he was like, that was friggin' weird. I was like, yeah, that does sound like, no, I don't know how to explain it per se. Weird, my guy.
Yeah, I would say.
Speaking back on the fireball thing, I know I don't know if it's a phone glitch, but I think Jared was seeing a bunch of like flare ups of weird lights and stuff on his phone. I think he'd send me pictures and stuff. He's like, do you see that and stuff? I was like, yeah, that is weird and messed up. But it was, I think it was like always outside, and I don't know if that was like just a phone glitch and you caught something weird. But yeah, weird orbs and like lights and things. I don't know. I don't think there was anybody like passed away around that time either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, weird. Anyone Tyler, did you tell us some stories?
Yeah.
Some of your personal experience?
I was trying to remember what I was going to ask you guys, but I was like, it took me a second. Do you ever, like, when you're sitting there and let's say your back is towards a door and you can't hear, like, say you have your headphones on?
Yeah.
Can you feel when someone comes in a room?
Yeah.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
I like get a feeling in my head, like where like it's like almost in my ears, like it's weird, man.
Like the back of your back of your head.
Yeah, it's like you almost
neck.
get like an open, like it's like something's open. I don't know how to
It just
explain.
depends on the person. Being in the military, I've been around people that subconsciously have trained themselves to not give off any kind of. And I know what you're saying, because like when somebody comes in the room, you can tell. You can
Yeah.
you like you're saying, you get that.
But like I get
feeling.
that sometimes even when there's no one there.
Yeah, that's like the feeling like something's watching you. That's
Yeah.
That's the kind of feeling you're getting, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
I get what you
just
mean.
almost
Or like
scared
someone,
myself.
or like someone came in the room, like yeah.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you have that like
Almost like a mental note, like oh someone just came in.
yeah, like you can feel like let's say the floor. You can
Almost like the
hear
energy, bro.
Yeah, energy.
honestly.
You think you heard the floor, felt the floor move or something, and you look around, you're like, what the hell? Like I know someone just came in here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When you start thinking about things like little subconscious things that you can, I don't know, it's kind of weird, man. Like things that our brains do.
Can trick you.
Like how,
play
like
out.
if it is energy that we're picking up on how we relate to energy, it's always
Yeah.
it always comes back to energy with like afterlife and like spirits. Like it's a form of energy.
Yeah.
Well, that's like hallucinations and stuff. What do you think about hallucination? When your brain is hallucinating, is that similar to spirit as something you would see or no?
That's a good question. I always kind of thought maybe that was why we saw stuff. Is like this is like the scientific explanation. And I usually dive back to like scientific, logical explanation for things. That's sort of what like a chemical imbalance or something causes that. And then they're like, I saw this and stuff, but like, are you like mentally good? Like, do you have anything wrong? I don't know if like that causes it or what. I don't know.
I feel like are you talking like mushrooms and shit?
No, I just meant like
Like for hallucinations?
yeah, just even like what's it called? Like mental illness and stuff like that.
Oh,
even,
okay, yeah. I don't know.
Like, are people more inclined if they have severe mental impairment, or not impairment, I should say, but like
So like,
Like,
let's
they're
say,
more
like,
in
let's say,
tune
like, what about
to, like,
people with
spirit world?
schizophrenia? Like
That's
stuff
what
that
I'm
they
talking about.
okay. So like the things that they see, are they connected to like spirits and shit?
That's what I mean. Are they on like a different plane that we
Yeah,
can't
like
see
yeah,
because
different
Because
frequencies.
they have a chemical imbalance in their brain that makes their chemical makeup different
That
than
allows
ours.
them to-
Yeah,
You know what I'm
allows
saying?
them to see things that we can't.
Maybe.
Because, like, there's always that thing is like, what if those hallucinations are just like how you're supposed to see things?
yeah.
But I don't know. It fucks
Yeah.
with my head a little bit, bro. It's kind of scary. Like, what if we're not the normal ones and the people with schizophrenia are?
I
The one that I always come back
Wouldn't
to is
doubt.
like a lot of movie, just for movie references, just because you can relate a lot of shit to movies because they've done a movie on just about everything, is like Bird Box style, where it's like these greater. That's what I think of. It's almost like what's it called too? Fuck, what was that game? Bloodborne.
Oh, Bloodborne.
Like greater, like huge eldritch beings that are basically have control of us that we can't see unless you go kind of like insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
You have that kind of chemical imbalance that you get from DMT or whatever.
Whatever type of
Insert psychedelic here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I wouldn't doubt that because it's so similarly described, like certain experiences with certain drugs and stuff and psychedelics, that's how we're probably supposed to
See.
like, that's what's going on for real behind the
but
scenes.
like
So
regardless,
like what? Oh, sorry.
no, I just mean like regardless of what you've done, the impact of what is that called? Not like the influence of your surroundings on your brain is way bigger than any drugs. So like if you think you're supposed to be, there's a ghost haunting you right now, that's gonna fuck you up any more than any drug you're gonna take.
Your brain is a powerful thing,
Oh,
man. Like you can
unbelievably.
convince it. Like
You can convince yourself of anything.
Bro, that's what led to like my anxiety, and it was fucking severe for, I don't know, for like a few years. It was my brain would just convince myself constantly that like I was like dying or going to, and like always in a panic state. And since then, I want to say I think about dying every single day, at least once a day, at least every single day. And not like dying like I want to die.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, like something happening.
Like something's gonna happen,
Yeah.
or like a panic and worrying about dying, like every single day. There's not one time where I'm like, I at least for the most part, I don't think there's one day it goes by where it's like I'm just chill. I don't remember not thinking about it.
So
I feel like if you worry about death, you're gonna constantly be panicked about it.
that's fair.
But I try to look at it like just live every day. So like if you do die that day, make it so like you're happy with what you did while you were here.
I think not believing anything also like it makes it worse too.
See, I
I
believe in heaven and all that stuff.
That's
So like
why
I
he
don't
Yeah.
don't fear it as much because I think there is going to be something after.
And
I feel like the
yeah.
thought of nothing is scarier.
I think that's
Thought of
why.
Of nothing.
I don't know. There's two thoughts I can kind of agree. I can kind of settle with and be
Yeah.
completely fine with. One, we go to like see our people afterwards. That's what I hope. Like that'd be great.
That'd be
See all
yeah.
the people you love.
Mm-hmm.
Then two, we just nothing. It's as soon as that DMT trip is done, it's black. Nothing. The best thing you can do at that point, you're food for the worms.
So, but like,
Yeah.
That's it.
there's just nothing.
Nothing.
Like,
Yeah.
there's
That's
just,
it.
like, so
And
do you realize there's nothing? Because like,
What do you? No, you're talking about being in an eternal state of like DMT kind of. So what they theorize with that is like naturally occurring DMT. I'm pretty sure is hundreds of thousands of years is what it's processed in your brain. Like it's lifetimes is what the
Whoa.
theory is.
So we could be right now dead and experiencing
Essentially. Yes, that's-
just a DMT trip. Like I'm the one experiencing it right now and making you two up, or you're experiencing it and making us two up.
Man, no, this is
but,
Or you're
that's
experiencing-
how long it takes to experience the DMT trip. It feels like it's that
can,
long.
Yeah,
That's what they probably theorize, because I don't know if they can prove it. But
Oh,
Holy
like-
fuck! There's no
way you can prove that,
there's
but-
no goddamn way.
so you
That's
could.
scary. Don't fucking put that in my mind.
That's legit. Like we don't know that. So
I'm alive. I'm
But
not
then
dead.
once that
You don't-
eternity ends,
yeah.
then it's black.
yeah, and when you hit that,
So it's like when we die, Like, cause like the light flashing before your eyes is a thing, right? Like
Is
you
a
see your.
theory,
So like when
it's
you
not-
the
yeah.
theory.
Yeah.
So like when you get to the end of that flash,
Yeah, that's it. It's just black.
would you?
Or not even black,
You know
like
what I mean?
nothing,
Like,
like
is that
like
us living? I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say.
Just
See?
break it down. What are you trying to say? Just break it down.
break it down.
It's like hurting my head trying to think here because you guys are like putting me in a like different state. Like,
See,
thinking
How
of
do you
things
know?
that-
Okay, so
thinking
like,
of things I've never thought of before.
yeah.
okay, so well, how do you know you're not already dead? How do you know?
I wake up every morning.
But you
But
don't
what
know.
reference do you have to that? Like what?
Like you don't have
Well, you can't compare it to anything because you've never been alive before.
and you haven't been dead yet that you know of, so you don't know like
Boys,
What I'm saying is, right now,
you're starting to scare me here, man. Like this is fucking
starting to
scary.
scare me.
Well, like really though, because what if that theory is correct and we're just our life is flashing before our eyes right now and we don't realize it.
I've had that theory where like we're right now currently we're just going back through our life, and even any choice you make, like I just made a choice to do this
It already
was
happened.
already happened, and I'm just watching.
And
it.
what if when we lose
go
chunks
back.
of times, like whatever, like fuck, I don't
So
remember
then, wait,
doing
no,
that.
hold on a minute. Wait. Then you must believe in something because that means there's a predetermined path.
sort of
There has to
but
be something.
maybe it's a predetermined path, like just your brain going back through.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
what's giving you the ability to like
So
go
like,
back?
Your brain's having like a trip at the end of your life, like your either DMT trip or whatever, and you're experiencing this again, and like you could you could do anything and it's already happened, like this conversation, etc.
So, but that would mean that like I know what you're trying
You
to
get what I'm
say,
saying,
and I
right?
get
Yeah,
what you're
there's gotta be-
saying.
There's got to be
Yeah.
something
That means there would have to be something restarting, like the not
it has
restart.
to be. It has to be already predetermined.
Yes,
Right.
but,
You know
like
what I
if
mean?
something is predetermined, that means something picked those things for you.
It's the idea of destiny.
Right.
That
This
it's
is going to
basically
happen.
fate
Right.
and destiny.
Right.
That's all I'm thinking is like,
Yeah.
is fate and destiny tied into God in those type of things? You think higher
Like
powers?
our lives are already picked out for us, and we just live along the course that's already been chosen for us. But we think we're making our own decisions.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, boys, you're getting on some shit.
So,
here.
yeah. You know why I'm always in like a panicked anxiety state? Is because like I said, I always think about dying, like at least once a day. But I believe in that there's nothing afterwards. So I'm so scared to not live anymore that I'm like always panicked, like something's gonna happen and just end it. I'm gonna
So why?
miss my
Why not
kids.
try? So why not try to believe in something where like?
Because I just don't. That's the problem too. That's why it also causes me to like panic and freak out. Is because I like logically my brain can't decide that there's something else after this. I just feel like it's the end because I haven't had besides like the ghost stuff that I've experienced, which we don't know what ghosts are. That's just how we describe it.
it's energy.
Is there's no proof that there's anything afterwards. I've never talked to anyone has passed, never got a sign from them, never had anything like that. It's always just like outside, like other experiences.
So do you believe mediums are real?
No, I don't think so. There's certain things that I want to believe about it, like that. That I hope it was real, but deep down I don't really, because there's been.
So, but what about when
experiences-
they say fucked up shit?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, how is that proven? Like, I guess maybe I'm not. I don't necessarily believe them. Maybe I'm like on the fence.
You're what's known as you're not atheist, but you're agnostic.
Agnostic, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen or what. Yeah, it's because there's a few instances where my mom has went to a medium after my dad passed and mentioned some things, and I'm like, I know my mom's just really wants it to be true because obviously,
Yeah.
and I can't get behind it. I'm like, I just kind of listen, and I'm like, that sounds crazy. Like I kind of wish that was true, but I don't necessarily believe it. There's some things that she brought up, and I was like, oh, that is kind of weird. But
There's just sometimes they say things that there's no way they would know.
yeah, that's why, and maybe it's just like how they say where they do some kind of like it's a trick. That's how they people that like try to debunk them and
But
stuff.
that
It's
would-
like a trick that they do.
But then that would mean that those mediums would have to spend their whole days researching these families.
It's not not necessarily research. They kind of like throw out generalities of
Yeah,
like,
I get what you're
people,
saying.
and they kind of pick up and they're like, oh, I'm getting a mark, a mat,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh yeah, I had someone that was that passed away and their name was started with an M or whatever.
Some of
And
them are
so-
just blowing smoke up people's asses, man. But I think there is some people with the ability to see that
I don't
stuff.
know. There's 8 billion people and no one's tuned into some freaky stuff. I don't know. Maybe. No way to prove. I know there was somebody that I forget his name, James something maybe. He was like a magician turned skeptic or debunker. I don't know if you heard of him, but he would had this bet. Maybe it was $1 million. And he said, if you mediums and people of that ilk, if you can prove to me that what you do is legit and go through our tests that we came up with to verify that you're legit, will you get $1 million.
That was Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, it's based on that guy.
Yeah.
I think that's because I was talking about that. I think that's who that was based on. And so no, I don't think anybody even attempted, or if they did, they failed. They all failed. They couldn't. And I was like, if you think you're legit, why wouldn't you go do this to get $1 million and prove to the people that, yeah, I'm legit. Like, this is real.
You watch that movie, Late Night
Yeah.
with the Devil?
Yeah, that's
Because
fine.
you see even when something real did happen,
Yeah.
how he just that wasn't no.
Well,
I could see
until
how
it's
you
too
did this
far.
and do that.
Yeah.
I can, you know what I mean? Like
But
that movie, that part where he hypnotized, and like he had me thinking that there was actually worms coming out of that guy, man.
it's
Like,
because it's a movie.
no, I know, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see that coming.
But that was kind of a cool little.
But,
twist and turn. But yeah, that's why
I feel like
tend to
people that
also-
really have that ability don't feel the need to prove to people that they can do it because they don't see it as a gift.
maybe, I just from my own beliefs, I would want to be like, really put it out there, like prove people wrong. That like I legit, this is what I have. This is true. I experience I'm talking to all these dead people this whole
But, like,
time. I would want to.
There's people that
100%.
do. There is people that do that. But like, no matter if it is real, you'll always have people. Nah, it's a load of shit.
I know, but he was one of the top people to be able to be like, okay, if you can really prove this guy through his, I don't know what kind of tests they were, like if you could really
But
convince him,
it's
then
science can't. I don't know. Science and like the afterlife, they don't mix. There's no way to explain that scientifically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like science doesn't make sense when it comes to living after death.
Well, if you had to explain that, then it would open up a whole new fucking can of worms. Like, what is a soul? What's it made out of? What's it? You know what I mean? Like, how does it pertain to us? How does it call? You know, where does it come from? Where does it exactly? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, fuck knows, man.
I think maybe I believe in like a soul energy and type and stuff, but I don't think it's tied to like an afterlife. I think that's just what we are, what we have, like who we are, but it's not necessarily tied to like a higher being, different afterlife. Or
So where
whatever.
do you think that energy goes once our vessels shut off? But energy just doesn't disappear like that.
So if
maybe we're different. I don't
if
know.
we are going by natural laws of the universe, then everything that is destroyed, or like everything that is input, there's output as well. It doesn't just go into nothing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's the dark matter of the universe, because
Yeah.
we have no clue what that is.
Maybe and not.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just hard to.
We don't
impossible
know.
to
There's
determine.
we'll never know.
Yeah, maybe this energy goes somewhere, but it's literally not us, because I think our thinking and our version of us is our brain. So this is how we experience things. So once that goes, our spirit, quote unquote.
There was just a car accident outside.
I'm pretty sure.
Hold on a sec,
We're gonna
yeah.
pause. Hold on. Fuck. Well, it seems that nobody crashed. We went out and investigated. We couldn't.
Bro,
find
it
anything.
literally
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't super loud, and it sounded like maybe I don't know. That was
I don't
weird.
know what that was.
Just
Yeah.
as we were talking about all this.
Yeah, it was.
Well, fuck it. Okay, let's
Yeah.
switch topics, I guess, because I don't necessarily remember.
Remember where we were?
one thing I wanted to bring up: Creepy Canada. That's what I wanted to bring up. Have you guys seen that show?
No.
So the show was kind of fire, from what I remember. It would go through different stories and myths and legends throughout Canada, and it's usually ghost related. And I don't know if it's like every province and territory, but it was like a bunch of different stories, and a few that stand out was something to do with like this butcher that killed, or not butcher, he was like a chef or something, and he killed these people and cooked them or something. And what's that? Do you guys hear that? Was it Dungarvon Hooper or something? Is that what it's called? I think it's in New Brunswick. But it was like you hear that sound. Let me Google it real quick. There it is. It's a ghost story, immortalized in song, by the Dungarvon River in central New Brunswick. So this one stood out because it's obviously in our province. But the story goes that they're like a boss of the camp who decides to murder and rob the young cook. That's what it was. When the crew returns, the boss explains that the cook had taken sick and died suddenly. Then they buried the body in the forest some distance from the camp. However, a terrible whooping sound keeps the group from falling asleep that night. Presumably the ghost of Ryan crying out against the crime of which he was the victim. Scared, the men flee the camp the next morning. So that story has been passed on through like lumberers and all sorts of things throughout New Brunswick, and it's like a local legend and stuff. And you can apparently go and hear that.
I want to take a picture of this because I do stuff like that, boys, and I'm not afraid to like take a fucking 4-hour drive to go somewhere like that.
Yeah, I would be down to go check it out and stuff. I don't know. You'd have to go at like nighttime.
I would just stay the night in my car.
Yeah.
You're psychotic. No, I couldn't do it.
Just sleep with the windows down.
So there's that, and there's also all sorts of different stories and stuff that the show released. It was it wasn't long, couple seasons. It looked like 2002 is when it came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever heard of this, bro.
It was on like the channel like OLN, where like Man Tracker was on.
Oh,
and stuff.
okay, yep.
Yeah, it focused on paranormal activities around Canada, that's a fire thing for like a TV show. Like that.
Because there's a lot of creepy places in Canada.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I love this show. I only seen certain episodes and stuff, but yeah, it's real creepy. You could probably do some.
I was gonna say we should like look at this list for like some locations, man.
Like,
if there's any
that are
in like
real
New
close.
Brunswick or even Nova Scotia.
Halifax. There's one, the Cellar Bar and Grill Restaurant. I think I may have seen that one too. Another one in Nova Scotia, another restaurant. Ontario's a little far, British Columbia a little far. Another Nova Scotia one, the Young Teaser. We can't click some of these to see what they're about, but yeah. So that's a show that was fire. Talking about all this creepy stuff.
I used to watch Ghost Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Ghost Adventures. What's that one where they send the kids in on YTV?
Oh my god. Yes, I love that show. Oh.
And they'd have all the little gears and stuff on.
Yes,
and
they have to go in.
Ghost Trackers. Yes, bro.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
That show was fire, man. Hell yeah.
like right? Like that
Children's reality show created by Chris Gudgeon on HBO. That was previously on Discovery Kids Canada and YTV. 52 episodes in 4 seasons. 13 episodes per season from 2005 to 2008. Middle school age contestants compete for the title of top tracker. They would go into buildings and fully kitted out gear with like cameras on themselves and cameras facing forward and stuff, and they try and go track ghosts.
Yeah,
and trying to see if they experience something. And maybe it was fake set up, whatever. Because it's obviously.
Sure.
But when I was a kid, bro, I was like, "This shit is scary, man."
Especially thinking back on it, you're like, they really did this with kids without it being fake. Like that's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, I love that show. That was a good one too. Ghost Adventures is good.
Oh, I still watch that.
What season are they on? I don't know.
27.
Holy shit. I stopped watching. Oh my god, years ago.
Me and Jenna started like season 5 because I think that's where a subscription like
They just
allows
had that
us.
there.
Yeah, and we've watched pretty much all of them.
Ghost Adventures.
It's just one of those shows you can put on even just when you're getting
Oh, for
stoned or
sure.
something. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you just,
Post Malone. I forgot he was on there. Did you see that episode yet? It was
don't
like
remember
a
that one.
Halloween episode.
I think so. I feel like I did. We just watched that one the other night.
Like a death. Yeah, that was a pretty good show. Do you believe some of these shows? Like,
So
that they
Ghost
thought-
Adventures, I feel like some of the stuff that happens is real,
Mm.
but I feel like a lot of it is like over the top, fucking fake,
Like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
playing-
scripted, and you know what I mean. But like when sometimes when they're like, so do you think their gear is rigged? Like the spirit boxes and like shit like that. Do you think those are rigged?
Not. I kind of want to believe in it, so I think a lot of it's legit.
Mhm.
That's what I think, or want it to be anyway. So I don't know. That's one way that maybe they could fake it if it was or not the spirit box, but like that's probably easily faked.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
But like I
sure.
feel like the EMFs, like where they're just recording it and talking and then playing it back right on the same shot, like without changing the shot of it,
yeah.
and you can hear it. It's like that's a little weird, but like somebody could be
At
in
the
the
same
dark.
time, they could have somebody fucking,
Yeah,
however many rooms down,
yeah.
they've tested it where it was going to make this noise. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Or you can they have like a separate one and that can play into that one or whatever, and they're just
Oh, as soon as somebody tells me that shit, it's ruined. Like, there's the same for wrestling with me. As soon as somebody told me that was fake, ruined. I didn't even fucking like it after that.
oh
No,
I
man.
know.
I
don't
was like,
want
I
them
know.
that.
But like
yeah.
when they say they feel like they're being like
Yeah.
touched or like they're feeling like an energy or something, fake.
Yeah.
But like even or like when they have the static electricity readers or like the electromagnetic detectors,
Oh, the EMF. Yeah.
like I feel like those might be a little bit more accurate just because like static electricity, I mean you can create a charge, but
Yeah.
the levels
You
it was they're
sense
reading
something
at.
there.
It's
Yeah.
just so
Something.
annoying when they take out like the parabolic mics with the big
Oh,
big things on them and they're like looking for sound. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, if the building creaks, it's gonna fucking rape
Make
your
something-
ears.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
because of
real
how
loud.
loud the thing is. You know what I mean?
There was another ghost show that they would I thought they were like even more real per se because they would go out and
There's a
really
couple of them,
they would
yeah.
really try and like debunk. They're like, listen, this was a heater you heard, or this is
I've noticed
stuff like that. And it's like, oh, you took the effort to show. They're like, nothing happened here. We were spent here all night. Nothing happened.
on the newer seasons of Ghost Adventures, they debunk a lot of their own stuff that they see.
See, that's cool.
They'll be like,
that
"Oh, that's just a bug that we determined that it wasn't like an orb
orb
or like
whatever.
a shadow or a sound that they
Nothing
could debunk
moved.
it." Yeah,
This accidentally fell.
there was
into
actually an
this.
episode we watched the other night where I felt like they had to fake the feelings they were getting because nothing was
It's
happening.
coming up.
Oh,
yeah.
they're
Probably
like-
happens.
They're
They're
like, "Oh my
like,
fuck, I
okay."
feel like I'm getting possessed."
They're
or
like,
something
okay,
like that.
we haven't caught anything in a while.
We gotta make like they're paying
we
us. We
haven't-
gotta we have to make an episode.
That's
you know
what I mean, right? It's also a fucking thing. It's like, is it rude as hell to go to a place and be like, yeah, there's no fucking spirits here? You know
gotta
what I
be,
mean?
you gotta be
Like,
legit.
especially
though,
when
yeah.
especially when that like let's say that's like your main attraction in
Right,
your
like a
small
tourist
little
place.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
This
saying.
place isn't even haunted.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the other shows. That's what they would they go around and people would be like requesting them or something, and they come to their house. That was maybe your main attraction, and they would be legit and like, listen, we're not saying that nothing happens here, but this is some of the things that we can explain maybe happened, and also we never experienced anything at the time. But yeah, they'll
I
just
feel like
shit
a
on
lot
it.
of the time too with like if there was ghosts, I don't feel like they want to be on video.
Fuck
You know what I
no.
mean?
They
Like,
know all that shit's coming in.
don't- yeah, like they feel the energy from them because like they use if they did use energy to like because apparently they have to like use energy to move things and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Like,
So,
oh,
like,
it
they
takes
can
so
they
much.
can suck the energy out of like because like people say, oh my battery's like
Oh,
draining.
yeah.
They say that that's a ghost draining your battery using your energy to build up to do something.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Another question about ghosts. So why is it always anytime someone experiences them or sees them, it's always like old timey they're always described as like old timey, like an old Civil War soldier or old timey little girl, or like not modern person, not modern saying. Like
my opinion
Yeah.
is a lot of people that died back then died from like how you said, soldiers, like
Yeah.
horrendous deaths that were never really like solved,
yeah.
or like murders of children
Oh,
that
so
were never
like we were talking about
solved.
purgatory and
Yeah,
stuff,
like
so
they're stuck. You know what I mean? Like they
That's
Maybe.
like when you see the little kids because they fucking starved to death because their parents forgot about them or
Oh,
some shit like that.
yeah.
Some,
That's true.
Some
They
gruesome shit.
had like terrible things happen to them, so their spirit is like, fuck you, I'm staying here.
they don't want to. They almost can't accept the fact that they are dead.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They can't move on.
Yeah.
Until that thing's finished.
Maybe that's a decent explanation for like older. It's never like modern day. I mean, there's modern day people that
Go
die-
unsolved.
that die, go unsolved, or don't want to die. But we never really hear any explanation of like a modern day person ghost, like that type of thing. I don't know. So good question.
People could also get away with a lot more back then.
Oh yeah.
True.
Like Jack the Ripper, he was never caught. The
Oh,
Zodiac
man.
Killer, he
You know
was
how
never
easy,
caught.
You know how fucking easy it would have been to be Jack the Ripper back in the day? You
Yeah.
take a knife, you cut a bitch up, throw her body, done.
Chuck the
Done.
fucking knife in the river.
Done.
They'll never.
Like, how do you? Yeah, you just.
How would they ever
bye-bye.
catch you? How
Yeah.
would they ever catch you?
That's why
even,
I'm surprised there's not more.
even motherfuckers like Ed Gein. You remember? You know Ed Gein?
Yeah.
Oh, the real Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy,
yeah, he
right?
was
Right.
feeding people to his
Right.
pigs and
Yeah.
shit.
I think.
I'm pretty sure the only reason that guy got caught is because somebody got away when he was like trying to kill them, or like somebody came out and he was known to be like their accomplice or something.
Yeah, no, I think
Wasn't
it
it?
was the first one. Somebody got away and they went and told the cops that like he had all this crazy shit, and they didn't really
At
believe
first,
him,
yeah.
like because of the story they were dropping,
Yeah.
right? And then they went out there and they ended up seeing like lampshades made with human
And
skin,
they're like, wait,
furniture, like he was eating out of human skulls.
like something
Man.
ain't right.
So that guy was the real fucked up. Like,
He
that
literally
guy
had
was
a
next
human
level.
skin suit, man, that he wore.
Oh,
Ugh.
I love serial killers, man. That's my favorite thing. to
You
talk
know, I
about.
find them very interesting.
Oh, they're extremely.
I want to know why their brain makes them the way they are.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I want to know what's different between my chemical makeup and their chemical makeup.
Yeah, it's very interesting where it's like I'm so
the difference is
opposite
just
them. Like,
the inhibition.
yeah, like what?
So like
Why are they wanting? Like, what's
through
cause?
basic male testosterone, all of us here in the room basically think we could kill each other. We think like if it came down to
Yeah.
it,
I
Yeah.
could drop you, man.
that's what exactly. No, that's what
No,
I'm
I'm
saying.
just joking.
I know. But like, if it came down to us,
Yeah.
all of us would kill the other people
Yeah.
to survive. End of story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just human nature, though.
Fight or flight, man.
Exactly. It's so
doesn't-
strong.
Your brain will not allow you to just naturally just say, yeah, I'm okay with dying.
These guys,
Yeah.
these guys don't have that. They have in their brain. A lot of them have in their brain. It's like my life is more valuable than yours.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they don't feel like remorse.
No.
Like they don't feel bad for doing things.
It's a weird. There's a difference between sociopathic and then
A
psychopathic.
Yeah.
Sociopathic. You can feel
You
feel
can
empathy.
blend in.
Yeah, exactly. You can feel empathy, but not to the extent of where it's like going to affect you.
Mm-hmm.
And then psychopathy is when you're actually
Like you can't hide that shit. You're out there fucking
Lunatic.
don't even care, killing
Yes.
people in front of people. And like,
psychopathy is when it becomes like you're uncontrollable.
Like something going on.
Sociopaths are the ones that
I
really be
watch a
scared
lot of
out.
Criminal Minds, man. I see a lot of fucking sociopaths on there.
Yeah. Love that show.
I wonder if do you think that those like crime shows and stuff, like I know this is off topic, do you think they like kind of like script them off of real cases that have happened in the
Oh,
past?
definitely. Yeah. They use it
For sure, right?
For
I
I
examples.
think Criminal Minds. I think they probably
Well,
do.
there is a pig episode where he was feeding
you gotta
his
look at-
Yeah,
pigs.
that's what I was
You
thinking.
gotta look at 1,000 Ways to Die. That's kind of like the in between. It's like
Oh
it'll
my
tell
God.
you like these deaths. This did happen, but
I
we
don't-
changed all the shit. So you
I was
don't.
gonna say, yeah, some of them that they had, and some of them I swear they had to have made up.
No,
So
man.
I didn't. I
Any
never
possible way you can think of somebody dying
Yeah.
has happened.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
There's been so many people to live on this earth.
like somebody choked on water and they like
Dead.
died, like
Yep.
just
Yeah.
from a glass of water.
That is true. Some of them are just, it's just so outrageous.
The one that always stuck with me, I was like, how the
Don't say
fuck the snake wrapping around the gun while he was taking a piss and
Oh, I
shot
think-
him?
I think I.
I can see it.
I know it's physically possible, but the chances of
I know,
it
right? What are the-
happening.
Oh, you know what? One that stuck with me is where the water slide, and there's a nail sticking up.
Oh
my God.
yes.
Oh, and he dives on his stomach.
Another one too is when they get in that helium balloon and they can't get out.
Oh yeah, that's a bad one.
Oh my god, bro! They can't find the zipper because they're so disoriented from not getting oxygen.
That's crazy.
And they end up just dying in there.
That's scary. That show fucked with me as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe it made me so anxious and scared of
I
death.
think that might have a part to do with your anxiety on death.
For sure.
Watching that as a kid, realizing that like anything can kill us.
So I remember back in the day, like super young. I think someone passed away or something. I remember sitting at home. I don't know if I was described like what dying meant or whatever back then, but I remember sitting alone in my room crying hysterically, like looking in the mirror or something, crying and saying like, I don't want to die. And so I think it started there. And then when I got a little older, like the anxiety and panic attacks and stuff, it's always based on around like dying and health wise. So I think it just, that part like skyrocketed and just had like a horrible effect. But I think it started all back then. Like just.
So do you think if death was explained to you, do you think that could have helped?
I don't know if that's what caused it. Like
no, I know, but like, do you think that could have like maybe changed
Maybe.
things a little bit? Not as so you wouldn't have anxiety as bad about it. Like at a young age, realizing that it's a natural part that everybody goes through it.
No, I think that's what maybe that's what happened, and that's what caused me to be like freak out about it. Maybe they said like, you go here, and or maybe it was religion. I don't know if it was explained like that back then, but go off to heaven and we're not here no more. That's what part probably stuck with me. Is around like I don't necessarily believe it, but the part not being here is like it got to me. I was like, I don't want to not exist anymore. Like I don't want to. Like it freaked me out. I just remember that. That's one of them. Like my main memories is like a kid. It stuck out big time. So I have one last experience. So I've told this to everybody multiple times, but for listeners that haven't heard it, in our local little town, in our movie theater, there was a movie madness. So they'd play like 5 movies and go until like early morning hours, like 6 in the morning. That's what they used to push at least. And I think we got out early, or we just were like, okay, we're done. It was me and a friend of mine. So my dad picked us up and drove us home, and we dropped him off. And like we were talking about earlier, he lives up the other end, so he lives on the reserve. And how would you describe that house? Is it like
it's a mini home?
Mini home, that's what they're called, right? And so we drop him off, and it's late, and I don't know how late it was. It can't be like probably like 2 something, give or take. And he goes up to the door, and it's locked, but I'm pretty sure the screen door was open, so you could see inside. And his mom wasn't home at the time, but I believe his sister and brother were. But they're on like the left side of the house, so where his mom's bed was or whatever. At least that's what I was told, at least. And so he goes, knocks on the door because it's locked, and he wants to check if anyone's awake. And we're sitting there, and me and my dad are in the seat. We're just watching, just make sure he gets in. And from the right side of the house, when you're looking at it, a light comes on. And we're like, oh, somebody's coming. Good. And then we see us like straight, from what I can recall, it's a silhouette of a person, like straight out of like a typical silhouette, like straight black figure.
Yeah. Woman or man?
It looked like a woman, like her hair up in like a bun. I can't remember if it was like old timey hairstyle, but that I remember that, and straight up walked slowly across the window, just like so it could show us. It was weird. Like this person was taking their time, and it slowly just goes straight across. No change in like the height difference when you walk. Just straight going across him. Me and my dad even shouted at him like, oh yeah, we just saw the light come on. Someone's going to come open the door for you. And then he's sitting there. Nothing happens. No one goes and opens the door. We're sitting there like, okay, that's weird. Waiting for a little bit. And from what I can recall, I don't know, I might be making it up like I said when you think about old memories. A light in the kitchen or in the living room area turned on and then turned off. And I don't know if it was like turn on, turn off again, but it did that. And we're like, somebody's should be here by now. Like, what's going on? Knocks on it. No one ever comes to open the door for him. We're like, what? That's weird. And so we're like, okay, you can come stay at our house. And so he goes, stays over. We're like, yo, that was weird. Me and my dad both saw him. We're like, this is real trippy. Like, maybe it was his, I don't know. Maybe it was his sister playing a prank. But I don't think, I remember being in the house, I don't think she's tall enough, neither is his mom, to be able to do like about shoulder length, shoulder up, to see in the window. Like you could see her shoulders and up. They'd be too short. And so we're like, it had to have been somebody taller. But the next day, I don't know if we talked about it. Eventually, my dad's like hanging out with his mom and stuff and tells her about it. And she, if anyone knows who I'm talking about, she's my godmother. But she's scared of like clowns, like horrified. And so she doesn't like that kind of stuff. And he told her about it when they were hanging out, like probably drinking. And he calls me and he's like, hey, I got her here and I just told her this stuff. And he's like, he hands her the phone and she's like, are you fucking for real? Like, did that really happen? And I'm like, yeah, we both saw it. Like, this is legit happen. We seen somebody, nobody answered the door, lights turn on, they're on their own. We don't know what the hell happened. And so she's like, I don't know if she like played off like bullshit, but we were like, no, we didn't fucking make it up. Why would we make it up? And so that was one thing I couldn't explain. And like I said, it could possibly be explained like a prank, his sister.
No, but they're not that tall. I know what you're talking about.
Like those windows,
they're actually shorter. Like they're short.
Yeah, those windows were up pretty high. That one window specifically that I was talking about, and I remember standing next to it, and it was like taller than me, or like up to my head. I
like
can't
up
remember.
to our necks or something.
Yeah, like it was pretty high
you have
up
to almost
there.
stand on your tippy toes to look out.
And it was so weird just seeing it like slowly just go straight across, like clear as day, like typical ghost.
Insidious.
And yeah, and so, but other spots of that house, my mom was there one time with, hanging out there and stuff, and she said like a hair dryer in her room just turned on its own, just went, which obviously could be explained like a cord or a button, something messed up.
With the hair dryers, though, you usually got to push those bastards in and then up.
Yeah, and it just turned up on its own. She's kind of like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
But that house is right next to my girlfriend's grandparents and stuff, and they've had some crazy shit happen in there. There'd be multiple times where someone would dream of something, of like this woman, like a white dress, long hair or something, and then it would think my girlfriend had a dream like that, and she was describing it, and her sister was like freaking out, like, I saw the same thing too. They're like, what the fuck?
Weird, man.
That place is pretty haunted too, so they're right next door to each other.
The only other one I can think of is like, I remember hearing a lot of one. My dad and them were fucking around with a Ouija board one time, and it was like, who is it? I'm trying to remember who exactly. I don't know. I know my dad was there, and Gein.
Go ahead.
They're playing the Ouija board, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know who did it or what exactly happened, but she got possessed, I guess.
Yeah.
And fucking like, I can't remember who it was that she picked up.
Eldon.
Yeah.
And
if anyone knows like
that guy,
he was not a small man by any means.
Pretty heavy set, yeah.
Yeah. So
and she was what?
Picks and like bones. Like she's like
small,
80 pounds soaking wet.
Small, short, and not. And all of a sudden, from what I remember that story, she picked him up,
literally. Like
and
nothing.
And then when they asked her about it, she had no recollection.
Yeah, didn't remember it all.
Like that's
another question before we start closing up. Ouija boards. Have you guys ever played with one?
No. Even if
I refuse.
We played with a Ouija board before.
That's why I refuse from now on.
Even if I well, I kind of believe in ghost stuff. Even if I don't believe in an afterlife, that the thought of maybe it could exist keeps me I just want to stay away. I don't want to be haunted by a demon.
I've played with Ouija boards like more times than I can count on my hands.
Yeah.
And like I've only ever had one time where it was like, yo, what the fuck?
Is it legit?
Man, I'm telling you, they're like, if someone was pushing it, that would be hard to move it that like slow and that slow and that steady without like jolting it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's a steady movement, and like it's not like it's shaky from someone pushing it. But we asked who we were like, because we were like, is there anybody here? And we got a response.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, so what's your name? And then it went to the A, and then it went to a Z, and it went to an A, and then it went to an E. But then the person we were playing with was like, go to goodbye. So then when we went to goodbye, we're like, she's like, do you know why I told you to go to goodbye? And they were like, because it looked like it was spelling out Azazel.
Oh shit.
Which is one of the 7 fallen angels. Like, you know what I mean? Like
one of the kings of hell or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like, man, like, but they all swore to God that they weren't moving it. Like,
I wouldn't fuck with it.
I know that time we played it, I didn't move it.
No, I wasn't either. That's why it creeped me the fuck out.
Why would happen?
Well, it wasn't even really anything.
Time?
No,
wasn't anything crazy or anything.
Like it was working like
that
really
was
well.
The weird part. Dude, we had the fucking lights on. It was like what
daytime.
It was daytime, man. And we're just sitting in the I don't remember, was it
like a spare room? Yeah, a spare room at my ex-girlfriend's house, and like we're just sitting there playing it, and like.
It's working,
it's like working like remarkably good.
Like he said, it's like just smoothly going along the board. We're like, okay, which one are you guys pushing?
Because like you know what I mean? Because like if we were all pushing it, it would get those moments where it would catch up on something.
Yeah, especially if is it one finger or two?
Two.
Okay, two. Because I was gonna say if it was one finger, way harder to be able to just. But even two,
But like even if like so like me and Tyler, if we weren't pushing it.
Yeah.
We would be able to like feel if somebody was pulling on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
so it's something that has to like move everybody's fingers at the same time, pretty much.
I don't know. So you guys believe in them?
They work. I played with them. I know they work.
I had some friends in like grade 7 or something. Bring it to school.
I won't have one in my house, man.
I was like, no, I'm not touching it. I don't want to.
Oh, my grandmother got mad at me for playing with it though.
Yeah, I don't want those vibes in my house.
Actually, I actually owned one at my house, and I
sold it to a friend.
Yeah, a friend.
A friend.
$25. Bought it. I bought the Ouija board originally at Toys R Us.
Oh yeah, they sold them. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I remember that.
I seen that there. I'm like, what the hell? For kids, by the way. You know, we're wrapping up. I don't want to be 2 hours again. We're gonna end on a would you rather, or just a few, new segment like last time. Would you rather be, like he said, would you rather be a ghost or a zombie? Leave it in the comments what you'd rather be. Ghost for sure.
Let's be real.
Yeah,
zombie. From anytime we've described zombies, they're not like in control of themselves.
What kind of zombie am I is the real question. Here we go.
Yeah, like
now we're getting to specifics.
Like undead.
Yeah, am I 28 days later, or am I fucking Walking Dead? Buried alive or trapped in a room with no windows or doors. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have more anxiety being buried.
Oh, for sure.
Well, knowing that there's ground above me.
I think I have a touch of claustrophobia. So, would you rather be buried alive or trapped in a room with no windows or doors? As scary as that would be, and obviously both are, I'd go trapped in a room.
Yeah, because you can move.
Walk around, move. Nothing's closing in. You don't feel like
you're being buried alive. You're in a box.
You're in a box there too. But
you ever watch that movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds?
That was fire.
Fucked up.
And that whole time he's imagining it.
That's fire.
Spoiler.
It's fire.
Weren't even at the right grave.
Weren't even at the right
one. Weren't even at the right one, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, you don't hear us banging on it?
And then you just give up. You would just, how would you not just give up there? Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
Gone. Passed away. Would you rather have a run-in with a creepy doll or an evil clown?
Creepy doll.
Creepy doll.
Fuck clowns. Fuck clowns.
You don't like clowns, eh?
No, that's just retarded. Whoever invented clowns needs to literally die again.
That's like such a stupid one. Would you rather be stuck in a haunted house with a ghost or a demon? What the fuck do you mean? You obviously want to be in there with a ghost.
Yeah, 100%. The demon's gonna do some weird fucking crazy shit to you,
I don't know
man.
if some of these are good or not. What the fuck?
Would you rather go on a pirate ship or join an evil cowboy gang? Okay, that's not even fucking. We're not even.
Dumb.
That one was kind of
situation.
weird too. Would you rather there be I think it was 1 million spiders or 1 million. I don't even remember what the other one was now.
Those are the best ones. Would you rather have 1 million zombies, or would you rather be 1 million zombies or 1 million spiders?
I'd rather one.
There's already a million.
There's more than
spiders.
million.
Well, like, let's say it
Spiders.
was in this in this vicinity.
You
like
have to
on
be.
the-
You have to be specific though. Like,
yeah, that's
how
so
big are-
wide.
How
like,
big are the spiders?
and what's the area that we have?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's so many specifics for these that.
Would you
have to
rather
go
be
into.
in a house full of bats or a river full of crocodiles? I'm going the house.
Yeah, I'd go. Bats are vicious
I was
though,
about to
man.
say,
Nah,
bats
I
are
don't
pretty
give a
deadly.
fuck.
Like, but hey, look at this
I
one.
could fucking fight him.
Crocodiles
Would you
are
rather
deadly.
put your hand?
Underwater?
Would you rather put your hand in a beehive or put your hand in a snake's nest?
Oh, snake's nest.
Oh, a snake could kill you.
You do it slow
Bees
enough, they
could
won't fuck
too.
you up. Yeah, you take enough bee stings, you're fucking dead.
I think what is it? 100 to kill a man? 100
Probably,
bee
Something
stings.
like that.
Would you rather be stuck in a
If
pit
you
of
were guaranteed
snakes?
not to get hurt.
Snakes.
That's
I'd go
just
snakes.
specific.
Yeah, if you guarantee not to get hurt, would you rather be stuck in a pit of snakes or spiders?
I'd rather snakes for
Me
sure.
too. Snakes. I find snakes are cute, bro.
Man, spiders
I
are
don't find them
terrifying.
cute, but I
bro.
don't find them
Like, I
creepy.
feel like
I don't
feel
they're
like they just
creepy.
need to have their head pat.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
little
I see that.
No, I fucking hate spiders. Would you rather be haunted by a ghost or be a ghost? Be
What kind of ghost are we talking about?
Just a normal. We'll just say
normal
just a
ghost.
generally normal
Because if it's
ghost.
a succubus, then I'm down for that.
Okay, well, I'd rather be haunted by a ghost than rather be a ghost.
Yeah, me too. Would you rather be chased by Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, or Ghost?
Well, there's ostensibly.
I would not want Ghostface because he's fucking fast, man.
I would-
He can move.
That's true. He can. I would not want Freddy because I want to sleep.
But let's be realistic though. Who's the only one you can kill?
I might
Ghostface,
go-
pretty
I'd
well.
go. Yeah. Ghostface
Well, you have
always
to,
dies.
the only way you can
Always
chuck
dies.
Michael, the only way you can kill Michael is chucking him in the meat grinder, boys.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's
even
kinda
then,
bad.
I don't even think.
The only one you can kill is Ghostface. So I'm shotgunning that
But, like,
motherfucker.
I don't know. Because Ghostface, like Zach said, he can move like a regular person. Like he's not, you know what I mean?
But Jason, man, like, yeah, I don't know how he gets around. If it's like
It's
how
just
it is in the
unstoppable.
games, he's fucking teleporting.
Could
Yeah, I
be.
don't know.
So like he would be hard to get away from. So I don't think Jason would be on there for being chased.
I think Freddy would be the most terrifying.
Yeah,
by
because he
far.
can get you in your sleep
And
and
he'd
like.
give you some fucked up
But like,
dreams.
doesn't he get to the? Well, that was on Freddy versus Jason. Never mind.
You know who's a stunt double in Freddy vs. Jason? Who was Freddy's stunt double? Rey Mysterio.
I seen
sick.
that the other day.
It was just
like yesterday
I saw
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do
that's
we
fucking
agree
fire.
that we would rather be chased by either Freddy or Michael Myers?
Not
I'm
Freddy?
gonna go Michael for sure. If I'm gonna be chased by somebody, it'd be Michael.
Yeah. You know, he's a little faster than Jason,
Jason's
but
just,
he doesn't necessarily have supernatural abilities.
No, he's just like he can be killed. Michael
Yeah.
Myers.
but
can be-
Jason is just terrifying, man. Like
he's.
Yeah.
And see, now this is where it comes into like what rendition of Jason are we talking
Yeah,
about?
true,
Because in the newer Friday the 13th movie, that motherfucker runs.
yeah, that's true.
But, okay, we'll do the general from like the general lore.
Like
of
the
him.
like
the
originals.
slow-
Yeah, slow fucking
know,
always
boys-
there.
I might go Ghostface.
I'd rather be chased. I feel like I'd rather be chased by Ghostface because I know it's just a person with a mask on.
That's true. Yeah.
Where like
Yeah, so
him
is Michael,
and-
though.
No, I know.
But Michael's like almost supernatural too.
Yeah,
Like
I
he
guess
can
that's
like
fair.
he gets around, man. And
Yeah.
if that motherfucker
He, like, can't
he's
die.
he's running when no one's looking.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's 100% true.
But yeah, I'm not necessarily thinking of like chase as like straight getting a run chased after.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
thinking like chase through a house, chase through like, you know.
And he's usually
fast as he is.
sloppy. Like he's usually like falling and bumping into things.
Yeah, he
and-
gets killed every movie. And
I think I'm going with Ghostface to be chased
Yeah,
by.
I
It'd be
think
Yeah,
so.
easiest
I
to
think
get away
so.
from, I think. Yeah.
Would you rather live in a cemetery or a haunted house?
a
Haunted
cemetery.
Haunted
Haunted
house. Haunted
cemetery?
house. I'd
Ooh,
go
no,
haunted
I
house.
can't. All the dead bodies.
Even though
There's
you
bones.
not played with
I just
dead
think about
bodies.
I just think about them coming up out of the
he
ground.
made he
That's
checked
true.
he checked for me.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Hey
He checked
now.
for me if they bruised. No, I'm just joking.
911.
I have, yes.
Yeah, haunted house. No, I don't.
Cemetery,
know,
man.
maybe.
I'm telling you, I'm
I
taking
can't,
the
man.
cemetery.
I couldn't sleep out there. Haunted house would fucking terrify
do
me
it.
though. You'd wake up and something's just looking at you.
Don't
though.
even bother with that one.
I'd be vampire. Would you rather be a werewolf or
I'd
vampire?
rather be a fucking vampire.
I think,
vampire for
boys, what? I'd be a werewolf,
You're
man.
joking. You're
I want to be the
joking.
dog,
You
man.
You're
become a wolf,
joking.
bro. Then you're fucking useless.
Yeah, but you could turn back into a human. It's a
No.
werewolf.
Yeah, but as a vampire, you just hide the shit.
Generally every time a werewolf is like your transformation fucking sucks. You don't remember it. Only happens in the fucking
Exactly. I
full
don't want to
moon.
remember it. I only want it to happen once a
Bruh.
month.
I'm like immortal. I'm vampire.
Werewolves are immortal too. You ever watch Underworld?
Boo hoo. But you have
Good
to go
point.
through that shit fucking transformation. It's always like generally hurts like a son of a bitch.
You don't think
I'm
turning
just-
into a
I'm-
vampire doesn't hurt? You literally
No.
die.
It was like one time, though.
One time and I'm just it forever. Vampire.
You just don't feel no
I'm going-
warmth, no
I
heat,
don't care.
nothing.
Who needs that shit?
You
I
don't need
feel
it.
anyway.
You don't need it if you don't feel it. Which famous witch would you
I
rather
ain't
have
that
pissed
fucking
off?
answer.
Let's not answer that
Okay.
one. I don't watch that shit.
Would you rather fight a giant basilisk or a giant basilisk
Yeah, for
or
sure.
a giant spider? I don't fuck with spiders, man.
Boys, I feel like I have to take a fucking shit.
Which classic monster would you rather fight?
Dracula,
Okay, last one here.
Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman. The
Hey, I
Evil
definitely
Man.
wouldn't be fighting him.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, no, he's scary even though he was from the fucking 20s.
I would probably who would I rather
rather
fight?
Yeah.
Frankenstein, man. I think Frankenstein.
He's
would
just
be
a
the
dummy.
easiest.
He's just an idiot. That's all he is.
That's true. But he's big as fuck. He
Yeah,
could be
but
strong.
he's like,
I was about to say
Maybe.
old school like this Frankenstein, bro. You could get up on a fucking roof and be like throwing
Oh yeah, that's true.
shit at him the
Straight
whole
up
time. Or,
classic,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
and he'd just be bumping into the wall
I'd
like you said,
go-
like
like a zombie.
I'd go.
So these two guys are off the list. So, because like,
The Invisible Man, you're fucked.
That's
The Invisible
terrifying.
Man,
You're fucked. That's
scary.
scary.
Have you guys ever seen that movie? Really good movie.
not
Even
the
the
old
old
one.
one, you should check it out.
I
The old
seen
one,
the
yes,
new
I
one.
heard
I
was
seen the
good.
new one.
The new one was fire, but I heard
That's the
old
girl
one
with the
was
blonde hair and her like leaves her husband and he like finds a way to be invisible and he like fucks her up, right?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
good. Yeah,
I think I've seen
I'm good, boys. I'm going the Mummy.
I feel like the Mummy would be easy. Is this the fight?
Yeah, it says, "What would you rather fight? Classic monster? Would you rather?"
Yeah, but
fight?
he can't die.
give a fuck. I'll unwrap that stupid bitch.
It would just be bone. You ever watch the Mummy when he like comes off? Like,
Yeah, but
his
this
wraps?
is the classic Mummy.
Yeah, so
I've
who
never
knows? I'm
seen.
not
I've
sure
never
about
seen
that
the
one.
classic Mummy.
I'm taking Frankenstein, man.
That's-
I'm fighting
me
Frank.
too,
I'm
man.
I'm fighting Frankenstein. You could punch, but I feel like you could punch that cocksucker 1,000 times in the face and he
Nothing
won't
would
feel
happen.
it. Nothing would happen.
He's got
Yeah.
some Max Holloway type fucking job, bro. He's just taking everything to
Bruh.
the chin. He doesn't even fucking care.
He's
Alright, one
just-
more. We'll do one more.
One more, okay. Okay.
Oh,
The last
That's
one.
actually a really good one.
yeah.
Which possessed doll would you rather deal with?
That'd be Chucky, man.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Annabelle. That's terrifying.
I mean,
She doesn't do anything.
that's true.
She's just like a void. Like
She's-
what are they
She's
called?
the inviter, man. She's the fucking. She said, "Hey, all you spirits want to come fuck everybody up in this house."
I live
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
and
The
literally.
demon uses her to get people
Yeah.
to accept.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with Chucky. Yeah.
Doesn't Chucky? Can't he like survive?
You
cut him
shoot
up?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
if you shoot him in the heart, you can kill him.
Oh.
But
Is that
like,
what
he
it
always comes back.
He always comes back. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
there-
Something happens
there's
where it's like
pieces-
electricity or something like with Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my favorite one, Jason Goes to Manhattan. Friday,
Oh.
I love that. That's my
Remember he just
favorite one.
uppercuts that going guy's head off.
You know how he comes back to life in that movie?
Lightning.
He's underwater, stuck in a fucking like in chains and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
And a boat drags its anchor across and breaks the like the electricity line under the water, and it
And it fries
electrocutes him and
Yeah.
brings
Comes
him
back.
back to life.
Dumb as hell.
Imagine.
I
So-
think Chucky. I know there was one thing where there's pieces of him in like different boxes and stuff, and he was like still alive. But I would
I feel
love
like you
to
could
fight him.
I feel like you could just
I-
lock him away and he can't get out. Like look at
that's
Bride
the
of Chuck,
thing.
Bride of Chucky. She locks him in a crib and he can't do nothing.
Right? Exactly.
He's
So-
just fucking pissed off.
Her, she doesn't even actually do anything. It's the demon controlling her.
Yeah, I'd fuck up Chucky.
Yeah, I just kicked that little bastard.
Yeah.
Man, going back and watching Chucky now, that shit's not even scary. I'm not
No,
gonna
you ever
lie.
see
It's
the
funny.
Spanish version of Chucky?
No.
You
I
know,
have
you
to look
boys
at
never
it.
seen that?
No.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
It's on. It was a TikTok.
Oh.
Okay, well. What's our
Right,
outro be?
right there.
What's our outro be? Do 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 do. No, I'm just kidding.
Watch
Sorry,
this.
Bar.
Fuck, man. Oh my god. So if anybody has any ghost stories they want to share, leave it in the comments.
For sure.
leave it on our leave it on our socials. Yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this one. You know,
It was a fun one. I like.
Follow me on. No, I'm just joking.
I like it too. And, you know, we got sort of deep in certain
aspects.
Actually, I'll
aspects and
plug one thing at the end. Drop me a follow on Twitch.
Oh yeah, follow his Twitch.
Romont_.
Yeah. I can I'll have it in the description everywhere.
Guy.
So follow him.
He doesn't have to do all
And
that.
Can you guys add me on PlayStation?
add Zack on PlayStation. What is it?
I think it's warrior_within.
Okay, yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, so we'll be back for next week. Goodbye.
Later, my friends.